Oh, hamstring. Up. Sniper, take the other picture.
A stinking Browns fan? Are you kidding me?
I don't care about no damn Raz score, Casey.
Scam of the day, scam of the day, scam of the day.
Welcome back to the Zebra Zillionaires. It was a tough one yesterday.
Live from Chatterbox Sports Studios, it's Off the Bench with Tom Brenneman.
Oh, he's trying. Get it there, Reed. Get it there, Reed.
We're close.
Oh, there it is.
That's the wrong one.
That's the wrong one, but it's okay.
That's all right.
Thanks
Under
to
pressure.
UDF. It's all right. We got it there under pressure. Welcome in, everybody. It is Off the Bench, presented by United Dairy Farmers. Today is Tuesday, July 25th, 2023. Tom Brenneman is not here today, tomorrow, or Thursday, so that means you got the jesters in here with all of you. It's Paul Fritchner talking to you right now. It's Jacob, it's Elliot, it's Casey, it's Reed. And you know what? We're going to have some fun over the next 6 hours of content for you. 2 today, 2 tomorrow, and 2 on Thursday. We have Tracy Jones coming up at 11:30. He will be joining us today and Thursday. Got some other guests in the works for tomorrow and Thursday. But today, I think we're going to do a little bit of a therapy session today, because we talked yesterday about how the Reds in this series in Milwaukee maybe wasn't the most important series of the season, and how the last 2 times the Reds had played the Brewers, that this was the most important thing the Reds had ever done, that this was the greatest series of our lives. Reed, what's the speech from Augie Garrido? It's about our lives.
This ain't about no god-darn game. It's about our lives. Don't you get it? Don't you get it? God darn it.
Well, you know, I don't know if this one is that important, because the Reds, they just couldn't get over the hump. And it started off just the way that you feel like games start off in Milwaukee now. Elly De La Cruz, a long fly ball to center field. And there's the UC kid, Joey Weimer. That's your guy, Elliot. That's
right.
your guy. Goes up and robs a home run. That would have been a home run, right?
Yeah.
That would have been a home run. Yeah. Goes up and robs a home run, and that really just sets the tone for the game. I'm sitting there watching it, and you're thinking to yourself, all right, the Reds have clearly made a statement about this for the last 2 weeks. Coming back from Milwaukee the last time, they come back home. They're playing the Brewers at Great American Ballpark out of the All-Star break, and they're thinking to themselves, is this what's going to happen again? They get swept by the Brewers, and they say to themselves, we're going to go up to Milwaukee. Things are going to be different. Things are going to be different. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like when you get in trouble with your parents, you're little, you get in trouble with your parents, and the same thing keeps happening over and over and over again, and they say, is it going to be different the next time? And you look at them with these real big eyes, these puppy dog eyes, and you say, yeah, it's going to be different the next time. But you know in your head, it's not going to be different the next time. It's not different. It's the same thing over and over and over. It's insanity. You're doing the same thing over and over again. You're expecting different results, and you're just not going to get it. You just hope, like we talked about yesterday, that the Reds can get one of the next 2 games. The Reds lose last night by 1 run. It was a walk-off from Christian Yelich in the bottom of the 9th inning. Alexis Diaz comes in. He gives up a walk and back-to-back singles for a game-winning run. It was a fun game for the most part. I think the frustrating part for the Reds was that it felt like they had opportunities. It felt like there were opportunities for the Reds that were squandered. And for the Brewers, talk about squandering opportunities, I think John Sadak pointed out, going into Christian Yelich's at-bat, they were 1 for 15. 1 for 15 with runners in scoring position in the game. The Reds continue to play the Brewers and set themselves up for success. But as the graphic on the screen says right now, for some reason, the Brewers are the Reds' kryptonite. We're going to get into that in a second, but this is Off the Bench, presented by United Dairy Farmers. We come your way, as Tom always says, from 10 a.m. to 12 Eastern Time, right here from Chatterbox in Hamilton, Ohio. We're sponsored by Betfred Sports. We're sponsored by UDF. We're sponsored by a whole host of sponsors that Reed's going to tell you about in about 45 minutes when we get done here talking about the Reds. Let's first, because there are a couple of bullet points here that I want to really make sure we hit on and talk about. You know, you guys last night? Any frustrations? What's the vibe?
I mean, honestly, the vibe is not any lower than it was yesterday.
Same.
We were talking about the Brewers beating us down, and they've kind of had us all as a defeated group now. I mean, yeah, it's tough. It's really especially tough because it was Diaz, and we haven't seen him truly. I mean, his first blown save, his only blown save of the year, we won the game. So that's the first time we've really seen him, falter to a point that costs us the game all year, which stinks, because you like to have him as that true lockdown guy, and now you don't have that zero anymore.
Yeah.
So that's tough, but yeah, I mean, it hasn't really moved the needle for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the loss. I figured it was going to happen. I don't expect the Reds to win this series. I expect each game to be low scoring and close. That's what last night was. The Brewers' offense isn't good. You look down that lineup. I mean, Jesse Winker got a hit. He's hitting 190 for the year. So the Brewers aren't a good team. I think they have phenomenal pitching. They have a phenomenal bullpen. They have phenomenal starters, but they can't score runs. The Reds somehow have to score on them. I don't know how it's going to happen. It's like Reed was saying it before the show. It can't be on one hit. All your offense cannot be on one swing of the bat, and that's what it seems to be against Milwaukee.
Reed, you said you watched 6 innings of the game last night. You brought up a great point that I was going to spend a lot of time talking about today, but I'm going to let you introduce it. Tyler Stevenson, he can't catch.
Yeah, so I was hanging out with my buddy who's coming in from Florida, and we had some pints and watched the Reds for about 6 innings. And the thing about Tyler Stevenson is everyone's talking about how bad he is catching, and I watched him, and the dude can't catch. Every pitch he catches, his frame moves. The glove moves with every catch he has. And with the umpire that they had last night with a huge zone calling things all over the place, there's no reason that you can't be stealing pitches, can't be stealing strikes for your pitchers. And he really didn't do a whole lot of that compared to what the Brewers did. But to the point that Elliot made, I got on X.com, and if you didn't watch the game at all, you would think that David Bell made some ginormous blunder throughout the game, and that just wasn't the case. You can't win many ball games if all your offense comes off one swing. And what a swing it was by Ellie De La Cruz, but you got to have a little bit more offense than that. When you score 2 runs, you don't win many ball games.
I just don't understand how at the major league level you can be behind the plate and play as poorly as Tyler Stevenson does. There was a ball that was called a ball, a pitch that was called a ball in, I don't know, the 7th or 8th inning. It crossed the K zone, and if Stevenson had just received the ball better instead of going down into the ground with the pitch, it's probably a strike. If not, it's right on the edge of the zone, but it's probably a strike. Not too often do you see pitches that are in the zone on the K zone where the catcher's glove touches the ground, and that happened. 2 wild pitches that, yeah, they were wild pitches. They weren't pass balls, but I think most major league catchers would tell you those pitches need to be stopped in front of the plate. Now, one time it didn't end up burning the Reds because the run didn't end up scoring. It just advanced the runner from 2nd to 3rd. But still, those are plays that need to be made. And you're not going to blame Stevenson for that when the run didn't end up scoring, but it's not inspiring any confidence for you going forward. If the catchers want to keep, or if the Reds want to keep going out there with 3 catchers on this roster, it's not inspiring any confidence when you see Tyler Stevenson behind the plate the way he was yesterday. Jacob, you had a stat about Tyler Stevenson's receptions.
Yeah, I was on Baseball Savant earlier today, and his framing is just a real dark blue circle, 6th percentile framing. That means 94% of the league catchers are better than him behind the plate at getting balls that are actually balls called strikes.
And it's not that hard.
It's not.
It's not that hard because to a certain extent, you just kind of have to try because it looks like he's not trying. And that's the frustrating thing. It looks like he's just sticking his glove out there and he's not trying.
If you look at the good catchers in the league, they attack the ball.
Yeah.
They go through the ball and hold it there in the zone. Every time, especially on breaking balls, he just drops down and almost waits for it to hit the dirt. And then you get surprised when the ball squirts between his legs and the guys continue to run around the bases. I mean, at some point, I tweeted it out last night, but at some point the kid needs to learn how to catch.
Yeah.
I mean, if he wants to catch in the major leagues, you have to be able to catch, and he can't do it.
And I think with the state of today's umpiring, it's all about framing. Like rarely, I mean, the pitches on the outside part of the zone, those are all determined by the framing of the catcher. The umpiring is horrible. You have to be able to frame. Tyler Stevenson can't do it on a regular, consistent basis, which is his job. I don't know where they go from here. Tyler Stevenson needs to be catching every day, like Trace says, or he needs to be sent to AAA. There's no you can't half it and half it, right? I don't want to see Kurt Casale any more than anybody else does, but at the end of the day, he's significantly better behind the plate, significantly.
And to some points in the chat, look, we're not blaming Tyler Stevenson for a loss like that last night where all your offense comes on one swing from Ellie De La Cruz, and we'll get into that more in a second. But you can also look at this in the same way and say that you're not doing yourself any favors. You're not helping your pitcher out, creating more stressful innings or whatever it might be because you can't catch the ball in a way that benefits your pitcher. Adds more stress if the runners advance in a scoring position. You take double plays out of order. All those little things, just because you're not doing your job behind the plate, doesn't necessarily mean we're blaming him for yet another loss in Milwaukee. It's just how it goes. Joey Votto is 2 for his last 36. Are we going to talk about this? What are we doing here?
I said that a week ago.
What are we doing here?
On Twitter.
Look, I get it. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody's going to assign blame. Everybody's going to beat around the bush. He's 2 for 36, and I get the power numbers. I get, WRC plus all that. You're talking about his career average. I get all that if you're looking just past the average or just past the slap hitting, whatever it might be. But we've seen a little bit now. We've seen a little bit.
I don't get it. At some point, you have the guys, especially with Jonathan India on this roster, where you do not need to play Votto every day. You don't need to play Votto almost any day. Now, if you move Jonathan India and you have the ability to, play Ellie and McLean in the middle infield and play Steer at third, then that opens up more playing time for Votto. But with the current state of the roster, CES needs to be at first. And you can rotate those outfielders through the DH spot, and then you don't have to rest the guys that are actually hitting in the 200s. Like, I hate that that's the line we're playing with, but you can't walk a guy out there that's hitting in the 170s and just bank on him hitting a home run every time he comes up to the plate.
I don't know what you do, though, because you're paying him half the team's payroll. So at some point, if you bench him, you're just burning money. So I don't know what the scenario is. I don't know if it's like I don't know what the deal is, because at some point you have to play the guy. You're paying him $26 million. If he's sitting on the bench getting paid $26 million, it's not a good look. At that point, you might as well just cut him. And I think he does have value.
Yeah, I'm not saying he doesn't have value because, like you said, Jacob, there's value in rotating guys through. There's value in, bringing him off the bench, I guess, having him on the major league roster. You hear the stories you want to talk about, whatever this narrative has been in the last month about who the leader of this team is, all of that. At the end of the day, the leader of this team is Joey Votto in the sense of a veteran presence, somebody who's been around, somebody that can get you out of slumps. Remember that article that Charlie Goldsmith talking about him and Will Benson and just the little things that you can provide to a team because you are far and away the most experienced player on this roster. You don't DFA him. You don't send him down to AAA. You also don't sit him every day. But what do you do? Because you can't keep trotting him out there to go 0 for 3 or 1 for 5.
Joey Votto's most value to this team is as a 2-3 times a week DH. Maybe first base. His glove is still valuable at first base. I understand that. He cannot be hitting in your lineup every day. There's no reason he should face a left-handed pitcher ever again with CES up. And against righties, what has he shown? If he's not hitting a home run a game, he has not been valuable to this team. And it sucks to say that, because we kind of alluded to it before he came up. We worried this was going to happen, and then the early home runs, we all hopped on the bandwagon, and we were so happy that Votto was contributing. Literally, if he isn't hitting 50% of his hits for a home run, he's not valuable at this current rate.
Yeah, and it's true. The issue is there's nothing they can do, and this is the risk you sign. This is the risk you face when you sign guys to 10-year deals. Is that towards the end, they're not going to be productive. You're seeing it in Detroit with Miguel Cabrera. You saw it with Albert Pujols in Los Angeles. these guys start to tail off at the end. There's nothing you can do. You're paying them an ungodly amount of money. They have to play. They have to. There's no choice. There's no choice.
They don't have to.
I think you can.
Yeah,
just
they don't
bring them
have to.
I think you do, though.
I mean,
Yeah,
you're already locked into the money. You're right about that. So if you bench him, you're losing. You're losing on that asset. That's an appreciating investment that you made right there. But you're already locked into it, and if it's hurting the team, there's no point in playing him.
Is he?
There's
more
no point in
valuable
trotting
on
him
the
out there
bench?
just to say that we're getting your money's worth. That's not what you do.
I think to Jacob's point, I do think he has. I think there is value to him being on the bench and having Strand play instead of him, but power-wise, he's still been productive, right? I do think there's qualities when he's on the field that other guys aren't even close to giving. I think his power does keep him in the lineup. If he didn't have 7 home runs, then we'd be having a different conversation right now. Because then I don't know what you do. Because at $26 million and you're offering literally nothing, then you can't play. But if he's hitting a home run once every several games, I don't see why he can't play a couple games a week, like Jacob said.
Yeah.
So
This just goes back to what we talked about with Joey Votto when he was coming up. When he was coming up from AAA a couple months ago, what was that, about a month ago, we're like, does he have a spot on this team? And it's becoming more and more abundant that his spot on the team is very minuscule. His spot in the lineup is derivative on him just putting the ball over the fence 1 out of every 15 at-bats. And if he ain't doing that, then what's he worth at all?
But it's, I mean, you look around the league, I mean, there's guys who are doing that exact same thing. Kyle Schwarber is doing that this year. Pete Alonso for the Mets this year is doing that. I'm not comparing Joey to those guys, but that's what it is, right? I think there are guys that just have power, and the way the MLB has changed, if you're going to hit 190, but you're going to hit a home run every couple games and get a decent amount of walks, you have value in today's MLB.
I guess that's my thing with Votto, that in order for him to hit 180 and have value, he needs to hit 30 home runs. And I just don't think there's any way he's going to be able to do that. Like, I don't see this absurd power keeping up over the long haul. He's going to go up and down, but, I mean, he would have to hit legitimately 30 or 40 home runs to be valuable at a 180 average on a daily basis.
And 3 of his 7 home runs came in a 2-game stretch?
Correct.
2 of his 7 came in a 5-inning stretch.
Yep.
So, look, it's a tough situation because, like you said, Elliot, there are a lot of factors. I think money plays a factor, but I don't think it should be the be-all, end-all because you're already paying him. The money is already on the books. The money is already there that no matter what you do with Joey Votto, you're already going to pay him. And like somebody pointed out in the chat a few minutes ago, would you rather sacrifice money or sacrifice wins? And right now, the Reds are in a prime position to make the postseason. And I would argue they are in a prime position to win this division. They are. They're right there. They're on the doorstep. And for some reason, they can't beat the Brewers, but they can beat everybody else. And the Brewers struggle with everybody else. Now, you do take a look at the schedule. The Brewers do have, I think, the Nationals 6 more times, and they got to play the Pirates too in there. Like the Brewers have some very winnable games over the course of the rest of the season. But the Reds do too. I think, if anything, the Brewers have a slightly more difficult schedule the rest of the way. The Reds have a pretty brutal August. But you get into September for the Reds. The Reds have the NL Central to close the month. They don't play the Brewers, but you have the Cardinals mixed in there. The Reds still got to play the Cubs a bunch. Are the Reds done with the Pirates? No. They go to Pittsburgh.
They got 2 series left.
2 series against.
They've only played 7 against the
Yeah,
Pirates.
they got to go to Pittsburgh. In fact, I just got an invite to go to Pittsburgh. I can't go, but to Pittsburgh, the 11th to the 13th of August, and then they have one other series against Pittsburgh. So the division is right there, and it's a 2-team race. Maybe a distant third with Chicago, but it's a 2-team race right now for this division. And the Reds are right on the cusp. If you're not going to trade for anybody, if you're not going to go out there and ship India off or Stevenson or Casali or, hey, clickbait over here, Fraley, good job, guys.
Yeah,
I want to, hat tip to you guys for the content machine that we are trying to build here at Chatterbox Sports.
Yeah,
You guys put on a masterclass
yeah.
yesterday.
Jacob turned to me yesterday. He's like, you know what? Should we clip this? I think we're gonna get dragged. I'm like, yeah. You know what? We'll do it.
Do you know what happened?
What?
We got dragged.
Yeah, we got dragged. And by the way, Jacob and I said we don't want Fraley to be traded. We said that we think he will be traded. I don't know who Reds fans think they're going to get at the deadline if it's not for India or Fraley. True, there's nobody else in this roster that they're A, willing to trade, or B, has enough value to trade. Nick Senzel, sorry guys, has zero value. If anything, he has negative value. A team is doing you a favor for taking Nick Senzel. Kevin Newman stinks. He's an okay bat, right? He's a worse Kyle Farmer. That's what he is. He's a worse Kyle Farmer. He offers nothing and nothing. Kirk Casale, nothing. He will probably play for another team because that's just how the catching position is in the MLB. You can hit 150 and call yourself a good catcher. But these guys don't have value unless you're willing to trade a prospect, which the fan base has already declared that they don't want because they want to stick to the plan, right? So that leaves you Jonathan India and Jake Fraley. That's it. Maybe Will Benson. But nobody's going to want Will Benson traded. So I don't know who Reds fans have this thing warped where they can get wherever they want at the deadline. That's not how this works, guys.
I do love everyone also adding in the Jose Barreros, Chucky Robinson, Taylor Hendricks, and all those guys in AAA. Henry Ramos was hitting 385 in AAA and cleared waivers. Guys that mash in AAA don't have any trade value. That's maybe Jose Barrero because he's young and has proven it defensively to a degree. But that's the only guy, and that's pennies on the dollar. You're not getting trade value for guys in AAA hitting 350.
Don't tell Ronnie Smith about Jose Barrero.
Fans trade values. It's so funny. If you've ever been in a fantasy football, baseball league and you get the notification like so-and-so sent you a trade, they're always terrible trades because people don't want to give up value to get value. People can't get that through their brain. So it's just so funny that every time around this trade deadline, the Reds are experiencing it right now as a Cubs fan. You see it all the time, but they're like, let's trade Kevin Newman and Nick Senzel for Shohei Ohtani. Yeah, that one makes sense. That plays. Let's go ahead and do that. Who wouldn't say no to that?
Reed, the trade value website broke everybody's brain. Whoever created that website
is the best.
Well, no, they're the worst because they have warped fans' brain, all baseball fans' brains, to thinking that they know what they're doing when they get on trade value and plug in Shohei for India. It doesn't work like that, guys. Sorry.
The one that Jacob brought up before the show started today, he said he traded what? Jonathan India for Lucas Giolito and Michael Kopech
and their top shortstop, Sosa.
And their top prospect for just Jonathan India straight up.
It's exactly a 17 for a 17. Baseball trade values doesn't lie.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
I saw last night the headline that the D-backs and the Orioles or exploring options to trade for Shohei Ohtani. Would love to see what the Orioles would give up. I'm not as familiar with the Diamondbacks, but would love to see what an Orioles trade for Shohei Ohtani would be because the Orioles system, well, and especially now at the major league level, but the Orioles system in general has been loaded the last 3 years. And they have plenty of talent. You have Jackson Holliday there. Colton Cowser just got the call to the major leagues. All these guys that have filtered through the minors that are now making their way up to the higher levels of the minor leagues, AA, AAA, and eventually to the major leagues. It is going to be fascinating to see whether Shohei Ohtani is a Los Angeles Angel on August 1st, 1 week from yesterday, and what that looks like. It's going to be fascinating.
The Orioles can make, or maybe the only team in the entire league that I think can make a package for Shohei, and I wouldn't think it's a bad move. If they hold on to Jackson Holliday. They cannot move Jackson Holliday. But if they can do it with the rest of their system and make a move for Shohei, I don't think it's a bad move because they still have such a young team at the MLB level. You're probably not trading many of those guys. You have a very, very realistic shot at competing for a World Series, maybe winning one this year, especially if you add Shohei.
Yeah.
I mean, that roster's absurd. Their biggest need is a power bat, a left-handed power bat and a starting pitcher, and Shohei Ohtani's the best of both of those in the entire league. So, yeah, I mean, I would love him in Baltimore. I know I've been saying Atlanta the whole time, but Baltimore might be just as fun.
I think a rival sportsbook put out odds on where Shohei will play on August 2nd. And by far the best odds were the Los Angeles Angels. It was it was like minus 300 or 400. But after that, I think the Giants were like 10-1. The Yankees were 11-1. The Dodgers were like 15-1. And then any other team in the league was like 13-1. So I don't know those exact odds, but yeah, something like that, which the Orioles weren't even on that radar. And you've always said like the Orioles and the Braves are the most likely. That's what I've always thought.
Yeah.
And just to think that they weren't even like the top odds getters, they were just a part of the field is kind of crazy to think about.
Everett Henry points out a good point I did kind of want to bring up. Colin Cowherd on his show the other day spent 15 minutes on a segment about what a package for Shohei Ohtani would look like involving draft picks. Fun fact about the MLB, you cannot trade draft picks. So
it's the Herd.
That was a fun segment.
Cowherd. It's actually I listened to Colin a lot. And you could tell his producers force feed like one baseball topic a week. And it's always just off. Sorry. Always just off the wall.
Thanks, Joe.
With just whatever he's talking about. No idea what any to talk about. It sounded a lot like yesterday when I didn't know the playoff format.
The Herd is to baseball what this show is to soccer. Which is funny because baseball is a pretty big deal in the United States.
So
of
you
America.
got one producer that really cares about.
I don't even know if they're that far, so I take that back.
If you really listen to Colin, we don't have to spend a lot of time on Colin Cowherd here, but if you really listen to Colin, he doesn't make great points all the time.
Illustrates them beautifully.
God, I love listening to how he illustrates them.
Yep.
He is a phenomenal sports talk host. He is so good. He doesn't always make the smartest points, and you want to throw your chair through the TV when you're listening to him half the time. But the way he sits there and he illustrates what he's trying to say and he tries to convince you that what he is saying is right, and sometimes it works, and then you turn the show off and you think to yourself, wait, what did he just say? He's good.
Like him or not, I'll never trust another quarterback with a backwards hat.
Right. He's the best. He's the best in the biz when it comes to talking shows, of course, besides Tom. And the thing about Colin is he does this like golden flow of rhetoric where he just says the same point 13 to 14 different ways over the course of 30 minutes, and it eventually just beats it into your brain like, oh, yeah. I mean, every opinion I've ever had about the National Basketball Association is directly from Colin Cowherd. Directly. Don't watch a single minute of the NBA. So if Colin Cowherd tells me, it's just like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Sure, that makes a whole lot of sense.
And like Everett says, he just re-illustrates the point over and over and over for the whole segment. He'll say it one way. He'll start it off. Then he lets it fester. There's silence. He lets you think about it. And then he'll say it another way. And then he'll think about it again. And then he'll re-illustrate the point. Maybe he brings some data into it. He knows what he's doing. It's not like it's just a bunch of clowns up there yelling at each other.
That's
which
other shows.
Gets tiring. Is that how this show is?
Yeah, you have to say.
Don't bring up Jonathan India.
Don't bring up Geno Smith.
Don't bring up Geno Smith.
You know, it really is a shame that the cameras in this studio aren't rolling 24/7 because half of the arguments that we've had, or probably a majority of the best arguments that we have had, the cameras just aren't going. Yesterday was phenomenal for about 20 minutes in here on Geno Smith. And we tried to do the Geno Smith thing up here on the stage and do it on the show. But you'll never get that raw emotion like what we saw yesterday when Casey was stumping for his boy, Geno Smith. Even though he's,
top two QB in the league is crazy.
17th, I think, Jacob, in MVP voting preseason.
17th quarterback.
17th, yes, quarterback on the MVP voting. That's your guy, Casey. Casey, nobody is going to take a bigger victory lap. You know, for the most part, and I said this last
Evan
season,
Marr
Casey.
took a big one yesterday.
What?
Evan Marr took a big victory.
Yeah, that's great. By the way,
All-time
can I say something? If you're happy about being right that the Reds are willing to trade Jonathan India, who's done nothing but try his best and be like a positive voice for the city, you're crazy. You're just crazy. The fans who wanted him shipped last summer, crazy. I still think that. You're right, but you're crazy. You're just crazy.
At least I'm right.
You're right, but you're crazy. I want that clipped. I love that.
I went back and I was listening to some old shows not too long ago, and I was listening to some things Casey was saying about the football season. You know, Casey, I got to give you some credit. You were right about a lot of things last season in the football season. There was one thing you were wrong on, but a lot of times you were right with a lot of your football takes. So I want to tip my cap to you on that.
Which one was I wrong on? If you don't.
Let's harp on that.
The Patty Mahomes,
that's partially.
Oh, I wasn't. Well, the Patty Mahomes, I was discrediting that a little bit.
the Tyler Huntley is better than Lamar Jackson was a tough take.
That was
Casey
tough.
still believes that.
I might still believe it, but it was more indicative. It was more indicative in how I feel about Lamar Jackson than anything. I still don't believe in Lamar, but
Well, I was going to go with DeJuan Jones.
oh well.
We'll see.
That's not during the season.
We'll see.
That's the offseason.
To keep it off the ledger.
Yeah, that's not on my
Ignore.
record.
He just had him as a first round talent. Who knows? He could be.
Could be a first-round talent.
He could be a first round talent. Right.
Unproven.
That's right.
Unproven.
Haven't seen anything yet.
Haven't yet.
That take's still in the oven. You got to wait for it to get golden.
Gotta bake it. Gotta bake it a little bit.
Same with Gino. You gotta wait for that.
Yeah, we haven't seen
Gino's
enough.
Gino-
we
yeah,
haven't seen enough tape.
Gino.
There's one thing we
30
know
year-
about Geno Smith. It's that there's still a lot that's unproven.
Yeah, I mean, his
30-year-old
career's just
quarterback Geno Smith. Sure.
Was there a bigger shtick on this show than? No, it wasn't a shtick, but was there anything funnier than the month that we spent in the month of April talking about DeJuan Jones?
I think it's drafted in the middle of the third round.
I mean,
Fourth.
you legitimately fourth round?
Yeah, fourth round.
Fourth round.
Man, you had him like ninth overall.
He's that talented. I can't help
So
but
what
first round
happened?
talent. First round talent.
Did he get caught smoking weed or something, or was the RAS score not good
No,
enough?
he said his RAS score was one
bad.
of the worst ever.
It was one
Oh,
of the worst.
that's it then. That's it.
I don't care about no damn
I
RAS
don't
score.
care about it, but clearly other
Exactly.
people
Kid's
do.
a
I don't
freak.
care about no damn RAS score, Paul.
See, I tried
Who
to tell you,
cares?
Casey.
He
I
told
tried to
coaches
tell you.
and- He told coaches and GMs he'd rather play basketball than football at the NFL draft.
That one hurt.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so what?
That is who
wouldn't?
In all honesty, if you ask every athlete ever if they could be elite at one sport, I would say the overwhelming majority would pick basketball because it's objectively the coolest sport. to
Casey
play.
would pick soccer.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
Some would say golf. Some would love to be elite at golf. I think.
Who wouldn't pick basketball if you could be elite at both? Who wouldn't pick basketball? If you're gonna live your life, you're not
You
gonna
gotta
die.
be smart enough not to say that in the draft.
I
interview,
understand,
Paul.
but you're not gonna die when you're 42 years old.
You got to be smart enough not to say that, especially when you're possibly pushing 400
Right, when you're the
pounds.
heaviest player
One
in
of the
combine
heaviest players
history.
in combine
and people have
history.
questions about your work ethic. Maybe don't question how much you want to play the sport at a professional level. Just use some critical
Look,
thinking.
it's fair. I'm not saying it's not fair. I'm just saying.
That's so funny.
I'm just saying. I think I'd pick golf. Because if you could be the best in the world at one sport, I'd probably pick golf. Maybe baseball just because of the pay, but I'd probably pick golf.
Basketball pays the most, right?
Well, soccer.
Soccer.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, $1 billion is pretty hard.
Yeah, but there's no $1 billion.
I guess I'm
NBA
talking
contracts.
American sports.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, soccer's the option. Like if
Golf's
you're telling me
close
I could be Messi. All right. Here's one for you. Would you rather be Messi, Tiger Woods, LeBron, or Mike Trout?
I would like to be my king, LeBron James.
Would you rather be Messi, Tiger Woods, LeBron, or Mike Trout?
For what it's worth, I don't think if you could pick to be any baseball player ever, I don't think Mike Trout would take like top 50. Like Derek Jeter would be.
No,
one
I'm
of the,
thinking guys right now.
Okay.
I'm thinking guys right now.
Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods for me.
Why?
Because Tiger Woods, dude, like, you don't watch golf if Tiger's not playing. 90% of golf fans won't watch the sport if he's not playing on a Sunday. That's crazy. Imagine, like,
You're
the
right,
NBA,
but that's crazy.
Imagine the NBA being like, yeah, we're not going to watch today because LeBron isn't playing on every single team, every game, all the time.
That's how a lot of people watch the NBA.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's
A
a
lot of
majority
people
of
only watch
fans
the
that
LeBron
just
play.
whatever team LeBron's on, that's the fan.
Well, that's fair then. But I think Tiger Woods legitimately changes the sport of golf when he's out there playing golf. If he's bad, it doesn't even matter. The numbers are way up. The sales are way up. Every aspect of golf improves when Tiger Woods just shows up to an event. That's not the case with, I would say, any other sport.
Also, golf is like the most easy on your body and probably the most longevity, right?
Yeah.
Out of all the sports. So I could see where you want to go Tiger Woods. Mine would be LeBron, though.
I could run, jump, and dunk
I think,
like LeBron.
I think there's something about being the star of the NBA. And LeBron is
I think the NBA has some pop culture cachet to it that it would be cool to be,
Sure.
They're
the
sport
star
with
of the NBA.
most quantity of recognizable athletes, I think.
The NBA does?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's because the NBA has now marketed itself and the product so well outside of the on-court. I mean, I think the average American would tell you that they know more about what happens off the court in the NBA than on the court.
And also the fact that they don't wear helmets. Like that's such, such a
yes,
big
yes,
like,
yes,
thing.
that too. They don't wear anything on their head.
Right.
Yes, you're right.
Super
Boy
chat.
Wonder.
Yeah.
Ellie overall.
I think Ellie De La Cruz is pretty high on the list of baseball players you would want to be right now.
Yeah, I was.
That speed and that power.
I proposed the question to my friends yesterday. Is there a player in Major League Baseball right now that you could not get for Ellie De La Cruz? Like if you threw Ellie De La Cruz on the trading block,
Yeah.
is there a single player in Major League Baseball that you could not do a 1-for-1 trade with Ellie De La Cruz for?
I don't think so.
I don't think there is. The only people that come to mind is a guy like Ronald Acuna, but Ellie's infinitely cheaper than Ronald Acuna right now. And then Shohei's, you're only getting him for the next 3 months. Now next year, Shohei for Ellie might be a stretch, but still you might be able to
value.
Right? Yeah, because you get 5 years of Ellie, but you also getting 10
I wouldn't
years.
trade India for him.
We know.
All right, so I'll throw one more name in there. I don't know if this
Kirby threw a good one in the chat as well.
Adley Rutschman.
Rutschman.
That'd be a tough get. Jackson Holiday would be a tough get.
Right, yeah. If you in Major League Baseball, if you get an elite catcher, you are just so far ahead of the 8 ball.
Yeah.
So far ahead of the 8 ball.
They haven't been swept since they called him up. What, a year and a half ago?
It's crazy.
Yeah, May of last year.
70-something series?
May of last year. I'll throw Max Verstappen in there.
Nah, I don't.
Formula?
Formula One, the best Formula One driver. I don't know. That would be. That might be my answer.
That's lower on the totem pole than MLS.
For what it's worth.
Yeah, I don't know. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, F1 might be.
It's a very worldwide.
Oh my God! I think if I could, I didn't even think of that. If I could be Verstappen, I might choose Verstappen over any of those other guys.
There's a Puerto Rican guy that plays on my adult baseball league team, and he watches Formula One in the dugout like it's like crack.
Well, the thing about Formula One is it's kind of like the international NBA where you care about everything besides what actually happens in the sport. Like the drama of F1, what happens with the teams and the racing and the general managers and how they construct their cars and what changes from year to year in the cars and everything like that and the dynamic of the racers, all that. But then they actually get on the race, and the 2 hours of the race, it's awful.
Well, also the same guy wins every single time.
That's what I'm saying.
It has to be the most boring sport in the world. You don't have to watch. He
it's like
literally
college
wins
football.
every race.
The same teams win every year.
Ain't no stopping.
There's 12 weeks of not.
Ain't no stopping. Max Verstappen.
You know what's funny? You said Lionel Messi, and you can't argue the Lionel Messi. Like he's achieved way more. He's a better soccer player than Cristiano Ronaldo. But I still think I'd rather be Cristiano Ronaldo than Lionel Messi.
I would rather be rich in Miami than rich in Saudi Arabia.
I'm just saying there's a short list of people that are more handsome than Cristiano Ronaldo.
Is Ronaldo the most famous person in the world?
Yeah.
If Ronaldo wasn't one of the greatest soccer players of all time, he would still walk in a room and people would be like, "Oh God, he's that handsome. He's a handsome fella."
Oh yeah,
he's
got it all going for him.
Right?
Man.
Yeah,
he's
I mean,
got
he's
it all
everything
going for him.
He's right.
But I'm just saying, if you picked one person in the world that was the most famous person in the world that would get recognized more in a crowd of strangers than any other person, my answer would be Ronaldo. Right. But it wouldn't be a leader, a president or some state leader. I don't think a political figure would.
Would get more recognized?
Do you think like
DT45 would probably get more?
DT45
Do you think would get
internationally
more?
Might be the most
DT47
man in the world.
Right.
You think Trump would be more recognized in somewhere in the world than Ronaldo would be?
Yep. Yes.
I don't know. It'd be close.
I don't know. I think it'd be close. I mean, when you think
That's
about
a good name to throw out there.
when you think about now, granted, Ronaldo hasn't had the World Cup success, but when you think about 3 billion people watch the World Cup? Billion? Half the world watch the World Cup? Billion? And you think 100 million people watch the Super Bowl? And we think about how popular that is in the country, just in the United States, and the United States comes to a halt on the second Sunday of February. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, I feel like the majority of the world doesn't care a whole lot about who the president is, but Trump was such a divisive figure that everyone. I mean, like it was like a reality show at times. Like you had to keep tabs on what was going on over in America.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I have a controversial. If we're going
DeJuan Jones?
Let's go, Casey.
DeJuan
Let's get in the
Jones?
weeds. Is it DeJuan Jones?
No, I know what he's going to say.
Okay.
I know what he's going to say.
If we're going politics,
I know what he's going to say.
Putin or Kim Jong-un is probably the most famous, recognizable face
Fair.
in the world.
That's
I
fair.
thought you were going deceased political leaders.
Yeah, we ain't going back to.
We ain't going back
We
that
going
far.
back there.
No.
Putin? I don't know. I think DT would have Putin.
If you lined up
Really?
50 Russians, I don't know that I could pick Putin out of the lineup.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, I don't
maybe
know how
I just
recognizable he is.
Trump's hard to miss.
Trump's hard to miss.
The blonde, the
The-
flowing
yeah,
blonde
he's
The
hair.
tra-
traffic
got-
cone skin and bleach blonde hair.
All right. Let's get back to the Reds.
You ready for this? You ready for this transition? Sir Boy Wonder just sent me the umpire card from last night.
Here we
Send
go.
it
Let's
to me.
go,
Send it
baby.
to me, Elliot.
Send it to you. Okay,
Send
hold
it.
on.
Send it.
Hold
Send it
on.
over to Casey, and we'll pull
Okay,
this up on the
everybody
screen.
hold
This
on.
is producing in live
There was
time.
multiple pitches that were a full ball
Yeah, that was
outside
bad.
of the zone.
Oh,
Casey,
was
your
bad.
account or Chatterbox?
My account.
Personal.
Okay, here we go.
At
Hold on.
Seabox.
Everybody calm down.
Everyone calm down.
Stop freaking out, guys. Come on.
You know what else? We got a pub here for a second.
What?
You can download the Box Lunch as a podcast. Just so everybody knows, you can go in. You can download the Box Lunch as a podcast. Reed would greatly appreciate that.
Right. It keeps me employed every time that someone downloads.
You shouldn't have said
Box
that.
lunch.
Now they're not going to download it.
I was trying to help you out, Reed. I was trying to help you out. All right, let's pull this up.
Has it been sent?
Yep.
Okay, I got it.
Worst card. I have not seen this
plus-
card. I have not. No. Don't spoil it
spoilers.
because I want this
No
in real time.
spoilies. No spoilies.
No spoiling. I want this in real time. I have not seen this yet. All right, here we go. I cannot see.
Plus 2.12 runs for
Oh
the
my
Brewers.
god, dude!
Whoa.
There was one pitch that Graham Ashcraft threw.
Holy cow!
I believe it was Graham Ashcraft threw a curveball at the top of the zone, and it was a full ball outside of the zone, and they called it a strike. Now that ball never came into the zone. It's one thing if it misses at the bottom of the zone, because at least you can say like, oh, it broke the strike zone and then went into the dirt or something like that. It was a curveball, a ball outside of the zone. What are we doing?
Yeah, that was really bad last night. It
That's
was
the
very
highest
bad.
run favor I've ever seen.
Oh my goodness!
83% called strike accuracy.
2.1 runs in a game where you scored 3 runs is crazy.
What is a passing grade score? So we took that serving alcohol in Ohio quiz yesterday. You had to get at least 70% right. To pass as an umpire for a game, what is the called strike accuracy? Because 83% failed.
I mean, you got to be.
You got to break 91, 92.
I mean, you got to be at least mid to high 90s.
Okay.
You're a professional umpire.
This is
Wow.
bad.
I think I could go out there and get an 80.
Dude, that at bat from Benson to him strike out, the number one most impactful call,
Yeah.
that was such a great at bat from Billy Baseball.
Also, we would have had 3 runs on 1 swing instead of 2.
Right, that was right. That's there's at least 1 run
Right.
for the overall favor. But I mean, that was such a great at bat from Billy Baseball. Like it was an 8-9 pitch at bat, and it gets called out on that. That was terrible.
Is
Yeah,
that the same at bat where he throws the bat, thinks it's a ball?
Yes.
Yeah, that was bad. That was bad.
Yeah, the state of the umpiring, I don't know where the MLB goes from here, but it's certainly not good. I had this debate with The Office over under 1.5 years before robot umps come to the MLB. Everybody took the under, or everybody took the over, excuse me. I still think there's going to be a serious discussion this offseason because it's the worst it's ever been. It's the worst it has ever been. And I don't know if it's because...
It's crazy.
I don't know if it's because, like, fans now have the view of the box.
That's exactly what it is. We had no idea before. I mean, you could see bad pitches, but that gives you a barometer. You don't know how accurate the box is.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, the box varies from body to body, right? From batting stance to batting stance. I mean, there's a general rule. There's a general
Right.
box, but it varies with each person. So I think it is certainly misleading. But at the end of the day, we can't. I mean, it's brutal. It's noticeably bad every single game, and especially with the Brewers. I think the last so we've played them 7 times in the last 2 weeks. It's been horrible. Every single game against Milwaukee has been atrocious in favor of the Brewers. So I don't know what that's about, but I don't know.
Big baseball
Yeah,
keeping the Reds down.
Big Manfred.
I'm not a blame the ump. I want to make this very clear. I'm not a blame the ump guy.
Sounds like you are.
I would like to make it very clear that I am.
But I'm blaming the ump because
Yeah.
this is pathetic.
I mean, how can you not blame the ump? It's +2 runs. We lose by 1 run.
You can have bad days at your job. At least Joe West was funny. At least he owned it. At least
he sang country music and released albums in the offseason.
Yeah, at least that guy was such a trash umpire and he just like laughed about it. Like nobody else, like Angel, what's his name?
Angel Hernandez.
Angel Hernandez, terrible. Get these guys out of the league, bring out a robot, and just stand them behind the plate. That's where we are now. Bring out robots. I don't care anymore.
Jordan Arrett makes a good point. I think the way you get robots quicker than later is if it ruins a playoff series. If you get a really
It
bad
already
call,
did ruin a playoff series. Do you remember it was in 2021? The Giants played the Dodgers in the first round of the postseason. The Giants went on that miracle run.
The Giants won 108 games.
Correct.
And the Dodgers were a wild card team.
And they were
winning 105 wins.
And they were eliminated because of a check swing that wasn't a check swing.
right. Yeah.
And it's like...
But for what it's worth, would robo-ops don't fix a check swing.
Right.
That's
well, yeah, it will. Because
No, it wouldn't.
No.
There's still an
It strikes
umpire
zone.
behind the plate.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying like the camera would still get it, right?
It'd be the same exact
You would just-
process that ruled him out.
But you would be able to challenge it is what I'm saying.
I don't think you can. No,
can't challenge a check
You
swing.
can't challenge a check swing.
Not right now, you can't.
So you want to overhaul the whole challenge system too? I do not want managers to challenge a check swing. That would be miserable.
I don't know.
I don't know how you would do it.
You would still get the same amount of challenges per game. That doesn't change your challenges per game.
The check swing
you
rule
still can't
is
challenge like an incomplete pass, like a defensive pass interference in the NFL or anything like that.
But you could. They changed that rule.
And then they took it away because it was miserable.
I know, but I'm saying like at least try it.
Yeah.
the check swing rule is weird because it is very definitive in the way that it is talked about in the rule book. It says if the bat crosses the plane of the plate. But I feel like there's a bit of intent that has to be intrigued. Like there's a lot of times where like a guy will like turn his like shoulders, not actually trying to.
It's a very subjective call.
Right. It is a subjective call. It is very black and white in the rule book, but it's still the way that it is interpreted on the game. It is a subjective call. It's a very weird rule. A lot of baseball is. The strike zone, quite frankly, is.
The rule where if you take like a half shimmy step to second base when you hit a base hit.
Right, like yeah, when you make it, there's got to be intent, and it's like how do you determine that? The thing of one take, and I think I've told you guys this at lunch a couple of days ago that I hate when discussing robo umps is when people say the line like, "I still want there to be the human factor involved in baseball." I hate that take. Why are we trying to get things wrong? Like, if there's a way to get it right, we should be getting it right. We're trying to determine who the better team is on that day. We're trying to determine who won the game. The human factor is objectively wrong. So if there's a way to take the human factor out of the game, then we should do that when determining the winner, at least.
It is. But, like, there is what it's supposed to be. The human factor is supposed to be level on both sides. That's what the human factor is. So if you're
that's exactly against what the human factor is. The human factor is biased in nature.
If you're making a bad call, you're going to most likely, or I guess not most likely, but you're going to make a bad call for the other side too.
Yeah, in theory, your zone is the same whether it's bad or whether it's good.
That's what I'm saying. That's the part of it that you're not going to get.
The other thing, devil's advocate for the human element, is Tyler Stevenson might be a fine catcher with an automated zone because he doesn't have to catch anything. You don't have to frame anything.
Right. That's fine. That's okay. That's okay with me.
Yeah.
Like the reason that you want a catcher back there right now that can frame is because you do have to
trick the umpire.
You have to do some magic back there at times. But if it's an automatic zone, that's fine, right? I mean, that's just a change to the game. It's the same argument that we had before they implemented the three you have to face 3 batter rule. Like, oh, this is going to take out lefty specialists from the game. Okay. So, who cares? It's better for the game if the game is called the right way. If the team that played better that day wins, that's okay. We shouldn't be throwing in a third element of, oh, this umpire might be bad this day. You got to play with the umpire. No. Whoever played better should win. Simple as that.
I'm on your side, Reed.
So
I don't.
you're
I'm
pro
not a
chicken
fan.
football?
I'm not a fan of there being any slight inconsistency. If he throws a strike, I want it to be called a strike.
Right.
What are we doing here?
We're too young to know this, but they had the same discussions back in the mid-'90s in football before the replay system got introduced. There was like, oh, should we use instant replay to get these calls right on the football field? And there was a lot of people going like, no, I'm sorry to make fun of the phrase, the human element, but they're like, oh, the human element, the call on the field, stuff like that. It's like, no, if we have the technology to get the right call, then that's what we should do. I don't understand. You guys mentioned tennis, that they always have the technology to get the right call and they don't use it. That is asinine. Asa 9, Asa 10, Asa 11.
I agree with Reed. If you're not, I mean, to a point, I still think there is an element to the human factor that Reed negates, and it's a fair point to Reed. He's right. But I still, like, if you're not going to use it, if you're not going to use, like, the replay system the way it should be used, if you're not going to make the right calls all the time, get rid of the replay system. Because there's no point of upsetting everybody that everybody knows that you made the wrong call consistently as much as you did. No point of having that if you're not going to do anything to change it.
It's ridiculous.
And in Paul's sport, thanks, Paul. In Paul's sport, college basketball, it has some of the worst replay system.
I was going to make a second point there, but it's okay. I was letting that fester.
It's one of the worst replay systems of all time in college basketball. So much, it's like there's so much.
Well, it ruins the sport. It flat out in college basketball ruins the sport.
Like in the last 2 minutes, every single possession is going to be dead.
He has a brother.
What?
He should cut you off like he has a brother.
No, it's okay.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It is ridiculous, but go ahead.
No, it's your show.
No, it's your point that you were making.
My point is that. I mean, everybody's laughing at me. My point is that if you're not going to use the replay system, like Reed said, if you're not going to use it the way that it's supposed to be used, then don't use it at all. Take it away. Take away the box. Take away everything.
Get ready to learn 01, 01, 01, buddy.
Get ready to learn binary, buddy.
That's hilarious.
Shout out to Natty Ron. New name for Ronnie Smith in the chat. I thought that was Nat Iron for like a hot second. Oh. It's not. It's Natty Ron. Natty Ron, repping the city.
Can we get a hyphen in there?
Yeah, can we get a space? Ronnie Smith, can we put a space after the I in your name in the chat or a hyphen or something?
It looks like a sports drink.
Can we talk about how Jacob's giving this summer power rankings? Like, he's going to be giving Friday the rankings, not for last week, not for this week.
For my time?
For his internship. Who deserves to be number 1 for the summer?
The whole summer. They always – I don't know if you guys said this, but
they always say.
My family said this growing up, that the summer was over after the 4th of July. Did you guys ever?
What?
That's heinous.
Well, when you're
quite literally, the
summer hasn't.
The summer starts June 21st.
Yeah. But when you're in school, right?
You go to school like around Labor Day, like 2 months. Like you got like 8 weeks left, brother.
Oh no, we went to school like middle of August.
Okay, that's still 6 weeks.
You still have 6 weeks.
Yeah. But you come back from the 4th of July, and everything just happens so fast. You come back from the 4th of July, you got to do, that, like, you have summer reading, you have back-to-school shopping, you got to do. Nothing matters before the 4th of July. Nothing matters. You don't do any work.
Paul's going to have a midlife. Paul's going to have a midlife crisis. He's going to turn 41 and be like, my life's over.
Dead.
It's different now that you're out of school.
Paul seems like a guy who did more summer reading than was required.
Paul, I didn't open a summer reading for 4 years.
Whenever Elliot starts off a sentence Paul seems like a guy who
Yeah.
nothing good's coming out.
Nothing good at. Well, it's like there's no respect. There's just no respect. He says love and respect. There's no respect. There's never any respect. There's never any respect.
I respect him.
No. There's no respect.
I respect you.
No. There's no respect. There's no respect. Ever.
There's all kinds of respect.
Are we
No.
doing
I'm
I'm the most
Seinfeld
respectful person there is.
No, that's a lie.
now? Are we doing Seinfeld now?
No.
Paul,
What?
4th of July is the midway point of summer.
No.
I mean,
All
you
right.
had 6 weeks before and you have 6 weeks after. It's quite
Labor
literally
Day is the end of summer.
right. Yeah, I don't even consider when you go to school the end of summer.
Right.
It is Labor Day.
Yeah. Like I still have a couple weeks of summer when I leave here.
Now things start winding down. I will growing up, things started winding down at the end of July when you got done with summer baseball and football
Yeah.
started up and stuff like that. That's when things are like, all right, it's around the corner.
So I'm going to just break this conversation real quick. Bronny James suffered cardiac arrest last night in practice,
Yeah.
breaking from surgery.
I did see that. Shams
wow.
tweeted that a few minutes ago. Yeah,
He's okay, right?
He had a basically sounds like he had a heart
Is he
attack
stable?
in practice.
Do we know if he's
Stable-
died or anything?
stable-
So here's
condition.
the statement. Yesterday, while practicing, Bronny James suffered a cardiac arrest. Medical staff was able to treat Bronny and take him to the hospital. He is now in stable condition and no longer in the intensive
Good
care unit.
stuff.
We ask for respect and privacy for the James family and will update media when there is more information. LeBron and Savannah wish to publicly send their deepest thanks and appreciation to the USC medical and athletic staff for their incredible work and dedication to the safety of their athletes. That's scary.
Thank you,
And-
Sir Boy Wonder, for the breaking.
Yeah, good thing he's okay. And those situations, I mean, you think of, when you're talking about the heart problems, you think back to Keontae Johnson, had that happen in a game at Florida. Now he took a year off. He got cleared to play at Kansas State. Then he went and played. He was on a summer league team. I don't know if he's still playing professionally or what is professionally. I mean,
He got drafted, right?
I don't remember. But I mean,
fairly certain he did.
around here, Jerome Hunter had cardiac issues not too long ago.
Really?
And he's, as far as we know, I don't know anything more now than what the public knows. But Xavier put out a statement about it not too long ago that he's just not practicing for right now, and now this with Bronny, it's happened here in the last few years, and that's just it's a scary situation. I mean, DeMar Hamlin too, but now that was a contact situation. That wasn't necessarily the same thing as this, because I have to imagine. No, I mean you don't know, but having a cardiac problem there, that's scary. That's one of the scariest things that can happen in sports, is to just go down and for a split second there you don't really know why, and it happened one time in a soccer match I was calling it at Xavier. Somebody went down with a cardiac problem, and I think it was a cardiac problem, and you hear the medical staff screaming for help, because in sports you see somebody go down, and for a split second you're thinking, oh, how serious is this, whatever, and then immediately you realize how serious the situation is, and the whole tone of everything changes. That is not a good situation, and it's good to hear he's not in the ICU. But man, you want to talk about a loaded roster out there at USC this year. I mean, you're talking about Isaiah Collier, Bronny James, Boogie Ellis, Isaiah Collier. What?
Two Isaiah Colliers?
Isaiah Collier, yeah. Isaiah Collier went out there. Yeah, I just didn't know. I just didn't know if you knew that, Elliot.
Beautiful transition from cardiac arrest to roster breakdown, Paul.
Oh, I'm just saying. They have a great roster and they have a great team, and Bronny's going to be a part of that if he can play.
He's a freshman.
He will be a freshman.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Is he one and done?
Well,
I don't know.
he's good.
Is he a one and done talent?
People belittle Bronny James's talent because they compare him to his dad, which isn't fair to Bronny.
So he is a top 100 recruit. He will probably play in the NBA.
He will play in the NBA.
I would not be shocked if there. And this is a question I asked a while ago. If you are a team in a late first round, do you pick Bronny because you know you're going to get LeBron?
I don't think Bronny James is there in the late first round because you get LeBron.
That's the question.
Like I think
is
teams
Bronny
are
a lottery
moving up to get Bronny to get LeBron?
Yeah, is Bronny a lottery pick simply so it's a package deal? I think he.
And everything I've seen about Bronny is that his comparison's Drew Holiday. Like
Yeah.
just a 15, 20 points per game guy who's an elite perimeter defender, and every team needs one of those. So it seems like he's going to be an all right player regardless of who his dad is.
I'll have an opinion on Bronny James once he gets in the NBA and Colin Cowherd makes a take on Bronny James. That'll be that's where I'll base my opinion.
I am very upset he didn't go to Ohio State. It feels like LeBron can't be an Ohio State fan anymore if he doesn't give us his son for our basketball program.
Hell yeah, Ohio State should claim LeBron James, Joe Burrow.
He claims Ohio State, which, now that he didn't give us Bronny, see ya.
Get ready to learn L.A.
Yeah, get ready to learn USC.
buddy.
Let's see. Anything?
You got another Sir Boy breaking.
Another one?
Jimmy Graham reunites with the Saints. That's a fun nostalgia deal.
Nola Graham?
What?
Nola Graham?
Nola Graham.
I asked these guys if we should do a Pawnee water drinking game before the game. Take a sip every time one of our things that we say so often, and one of them was if any of us did a we do a. If we get a correct from Jacob, if we get a love and respect from Elliot.
I mean,
well, there's none of that.
I thought we were playing because
There's
I already
never any of
finished
that.
mine.
Did you see this thing that if you drink too much water too fast, you can go into? I don't know.
You can go into what?
The bathroom to pee?
Yeah, like finish that sentence.
It's why I don't know what the medical term for it is, but I've seen it now in the last like 2 weeks because one person had it happen, I guess, on TikTok, and now it's been all over the
turn
place.
If I
into
had
a
to
fish?
guess,
No.
How that
It's
finishes.
no. I went down a rabbit hole. It is an actual medical thing that if you drink a certain amount of water,
is it like 500 gallons in an hour?
no, it's
or
like
something
it's
like
like
that?
6 bottles in a half hour or something.
No.
It's a lot, but
So if you drink a gallon of water in a half hour,
That's
you're
like
gonna die?
the overdose on Advil.
What?
You need 55. Like
somebody in this chat is gonna know what I'm talking about.
That's with milk.
I'm hoping
I'm sure there's some freak thing that can happen if you drink too much water, but your body typically has a pretty good system of removing excess water. Yeah. Tom does it
pretty
4 times a
foolproof,
show.
Yeah.
4 times. I'm gonna have to do it here in a few minutes before we get to Tracy Jones. Who's the water champ at Chatterbox? It's not me. I'll tell you that. I drink this every day, and that's about it. And even before that, I don't think I ever drank water before I drank this every day. I don't drink water.
Never
after
once
this.
in your life?
Very infrequent. I could probably count on one hand the number of times I would have water in a month.
I asked you guys one time, I was like, do you guys think you drink a 12-pack of soda in a year? And Paul was like, I do that in a week.
12-pack of soda in a year?
Yeah,
That's
I drink
That's a
less.
crazy question.
I drink less than 12 sodas a year.
Oh my God.
I can't imagine.
I don't drink pop.
I'm a clean 100 ounces of water a day guy, though.
Wow. I mean, pop's not good for you. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. It's just,
Oh, no, I'm having a soda a day, usually at least.
yeah, same. I think I've had a soda a day for the last 7 years. But it's not like even a caffeine thing either. I have never had a cup of coffee in my life. I don't drink the soda because I need the caffeine.
If I didn't drink coffee, I would not be able to function as a human being. And I know that's like
love coffee.
I know that's like a big thing people say, and it gets annoying. But I mean, when I wake up, I am non-verbal until I get a coffee.
It is the best part of my day is taking my dogs on a walk or going on my patio and drinking a cup of coffee
Yeah,
before
I'm
I come
full
in every
boom
day.
until I get coffee, and then I go brain.
We should get those guys on the show.
I mean,
We
those
should.
guys and Lawnmower Guy could be an insane roundtable.
A great show.
Maybe I can interview Lawnmower Guy one day.
Man on the street of
Yeah.
Hamilton.
Yeah. I'm waiting for you to call for Mr. President.
No, I'm good. I want to do it closer to.
Okay.
I want to do it closer to Tracy Jones because I got to make it through the Tracy Jones segment
Does
without
that
getting out.
conclude the Reds discussion?
Do you guys have anything else you would like to say about the Cincinnati Reds and their foils in Milwaukee?
Do you
I-
similar to the Joey Votto $26 million contract? Do you feel like you have a depreciating asset with your $50 Cincy Connect Jonathan India jersey?
Yeah, turn around.
No,
You
I
bought
will
that
not.
2 days ago, and the next day he was put on the trading block.
Yeah, that sucks.
Do you think you did this to Jonathan India?
No.
Ooh.
There's
No.
direct
Some are saying.
Some are
cause and
saying.
effect.
Some are saying.
Cause and effect. All
Jonathan
we can do is
India
look at the
was
facts.
not publicly on the trade block until you bought a jersey.
I don't care about your feelings. The facts are the facts.
You jinxed it.
Yeah, I guess I did. I don't know. I tried to defend him. I tried to be a champion of him, but I guess nobody likes him. All your vitriol, all your hate pushed him right out of the city. I do think in the best case scenario, and I hate to keep bringing back 2021, they got Luis Sessa, Justin Wilson at the deadline. What's the best case scenario at this deadline? Are you talking
package I said for
Are you
the White
no,
Sox?
no, not specifically. Like, are you talking one starting pitcher, two starting pitchers? What's the ideal deadline?
for Jonathan India?
No, just for the Reds.
Oh, I mean, I don't need.
Do you
returns
need-
this year.
Pitching
I don't need to win
prospects?
this year.
Do you need more relievers? Do you need two relievers?
Pitching prospects would be great.
Yeah, I would love. Yeah, I would love to bolster the pitching part of the farm.
Okay, but nothing. I'm talking right now.
No, I don't need. I'm not focused on anything for the roster this year.
Okay.
Yeah, you just need to get Hunter Green and Nick Lodolo back to healthy, and that's
Right.
that's the best.
Yeah,
thing
no,
that can happen for the Reds.
if a major league level starting pitcher falls into your lap, seize the opportunity. If not, do not overpay.
Maybe get back Alec Mills or get Rich Hill on the
I
horn.
mean, Ricky Karcher's sitting down there in Louisville. We could bring him back for another save.
Man, Alec Mills.
They should, man. They
Ricky
should.
Karcher 3.0 on baseball trade values.
Is
Wild.
is Alec Mills the worst guy to throw a no hitter in the past 5 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. No
There was
question
nothing.
about it.
Well,
No hitters don't.
Domingo Germán's worse, and he threw a perfect.
Was
game.
Alec Mills' no hitter in a doubleheader? One of the fake doubleheaders?
It was during 2020.
I know, I
It
think
was
it
in
was-
front of nobody at the field where the Reds can't score. Miller Park.
Oh,
American Family Field?
that was a joke.
Sorry.
That was a joke. I think it was during a doubleheader.
No hitters don't matter,
It wouldn't
right?
have been a no-hitter if it was 7 innings.
It wouldn't have been.
It wouldn't have been registered as a no-hitter if it
Okay.
was 7 innings.
All right.
Yeah, it was a niner.
It had to have been 9.
They don't matter.
No, yeah, I think no-hitters are completely irrelevant.
I mean, I realized. I mean, you're talking about what? A couple weeks ago, there was a Tigers no hitter.
Well,
It was a
combined.
no hitter. Yeah.
That really
So
doesn't count.
so there was a broadcaster from my league in AA that I worked in a couple of years ago that had gotten called up to call that game. I don't know what I don't know what I was doing. I was busy that day, and I saw a post from him 3 days later on Wednesday saying how lucky he was to have been on the call of a major league no hitter. No joke. Had no clue what happened. I didn't see one headline. I didn't see a game recap. I didn't see a news alert. Nothing. Had no clue until I saw that his post on Wednesday or Thursday that they had thrown a no hitter.
I mean, yeah, what was that, 2021 when he had like 6 no-hitters in the span of a month?
Yep.
That just made it completely irrelevant in my eyes.
Did you guys see that stat that they flashed up on the broadcast last night about the Brewers record against the NL Central versus the rest of?
Oh, yeah.
They're under 500 against the rest of the league, and then like 30 or like some crazy like 20 something and 9 against the NL Central. So I was just looking it up. They are 9-2 against the Reds and 5-1 against the Pirates. That puts them at 14-3 against those two teams. Against the rest of the league, they are an even 42-42. Incredible. It's insane.
Last night too, the Brewers, and again, I think that stat proves it. The NL Central's bad. The rest of the league, the Brewers are not better than most of the teams in MLB. The Reds walked how many guys? 8 guys last night. It's just like you can't walk the Milwaukee offense, which is just abysmal.
I mean, Paul said it earlier in the show. They were, 1 for 15?
With runners in scoring position,
before
1
that
for
Yelich?
15.
I mean,
One
the
for
Reds,
15.
the Reds have to have a lead going into the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. They have to.
yeah.
They have to.
If you
0-39 against Devin Williams and what is his name? Payampas?
You know,
Payampas? That's all I got there. But 0 for 39
There's
with
a P and a Y.
with 25 strikeouts. It's like it's just untouchable.
It's uncompetitive.
Yeah, it's not. It's not when Devin Williams
It's
comes up
unserious, Paul.
It is so unserious.
It's getting
man.
unserious.
It isn't. There is no better insult than when you look at
Yeah.
somebody and you say, "You're running an unserious program."
Yeah.
I mean, you just feel demoralized. You feel beaten down. You feel like you're worth nothing. You're saying you run that is unserious. You are an unserious ball club.
Is that the hardest burn in the history of Secession? In that final, you watched Secession? No,
No, I don't.
no one's watched Secession in here.
No, that was.
I have.
Tom and I were supposed to watch that.
My buddies are watching
on the
it
same
right
timeline.
They in the final season, the dad looks at his kids and just goes, "You are not serious people," And it's just the coldest burn that he has the entire – because that's the whole point of the show. I'm looking at the Brewers lineup right now because every time that the Reds play the Brewers, my entire X feed is nothing but Reds fans talking about how terrible the Brewers lineup is, and they're not wrong. In terms of OPS plus, Christian Yelich and William Contreras are the only ones that are above league average that are in their lineup every day. Now, Andrew Monasterio is above league average, but he only has 100 plate appearances, so you could do with that what you will. But literally everyone else is well below. Like Rowdy Tellez, who's on the ILs, 82. Bryce Terang's a 58 OPS plus. That is Billy Hamilton levels. Willie Adames, 88. Brian Anderson, who's on the DL as well, is down in the 80s. Joey Weimer, Jesse Winker, Tyrone Taylor, who I guess has played the most games in right field for them, has an OPS plus. Reminder, 100 is league average. His OPS plus is 7.
7?
Yeah. He only has 100 at-bats, but...
Reading Poems says, "You're an unserious host, Paul. I don't know if I've ever felt more demoralized." That's worse than Elliot telling me, with love and respect, or Paul, you look like a guy. Because that comes out a lot. I get notifications from Elliot. He'll send me a TikTok. I know nothing good's coming. I know there's absolutely nothing good coming from anything that Elliot Rearing sends me ever.
Yeah, try not to be too mean, but...
Well, no, that's just not true. Again, see lies. Yeah, it's not true. It's just not true.
You want to power rank the playoff picture right now?
Let's do it.
Power rank?
Don't they do that already with the seeding?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Well, yeah, but do you think the Reds are worse than the Diamondbacks?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds like it's up for debate.
Then never mind. Then never mind. We won't do it. If you think the Reds just swept them, what are you talking about?
Without Zach Gallen or Merrill Kelly on the mound in the 3-game series, the Diamondbacks would be pretty heavily favored, I think.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, if they played in the playoff series and you get the Cy Young in Game 1 and the Merrill Kelly Game 2, like they're going to be heavily favored in those two games.
Jacob's a hater. That's fine.
What, NLDS or bust? CS?
NLCS.
Is that where we're
NLCS
going,
or bust?
NLCS or bust.
NLCS
What
or
teams,
bust.
in all honesty, like where do you think the Reds fit in the National League picture in terms of like where they actually like? I don't think they're better than, and this is coming from the hater perspective, obviously, but I don't think they're better than any of the 3 West Division teams. And I know they just won a series they just swept the Diamondbacks and,
I
took
just don't agree.
I think
Evan, I like Evans, 501 or bust.
I don't think they're better than the Brewers. That has been shown. Are they better than the Phillies or the Marlins?
Those are the two teams.
Those are the two teams that they're
probably
right
take
there
the Reds
with, right? Like I think all 3 West teams are better than them.
I agree.
The Brewers are better. The Braves are better.
How funny would it be if the Reds pulled this off, made the playoffs, got into the postseason, and had to play the Brewers and swept them? How funny would that be after this entire narrative of this season and everything that the Reds have gone through playing in Milwaukee and in Cincinnati and not having a whole lot of success? Get to the postseason and just kick the Brewers' ass. I mean, wouldn't that be funny?
It would be funny. I don't think it'll happen.
I don't think it'll happen. I think we have a large enough sample size now to say that for some reason there's something going on in the water whenever they play the Milwaukee Brewers. Don't know why that is.
Could the Padres sneak back in?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the same record as the Cubs. Like
I refuse to believe the Padres are out of it.
Yeah, they're 5 games back from a wild card spot, right? I mean,
5 games is nothing.
Yeah,
5
2.5
games is
months,
nothing.
and with multiple Hall of Famers on your team,
Right.
like that's worth something.
And the best pitcher in the league since the All-Star break. Blake Snell is
since before the All-Star break.
Yeah,
right?
he was a .6 ERA in his last 13 starts. Yeah,
All right.
no, they can absolutely get back into this.
I'm going to have to send this one to the Ham and Eggers. If you guys do this and then also want to transition into the Immaculate Grid, we can do all that and then come back and we'll have Tracy Jones in 15 minutes.
It's that time of the show, the Ham and Eggers. These guys are great, trust me, I would know. I introduce all the best segments.
Thanks, DT47. One of the sponsors of this show is Encore Technologies, and what do? They do nothing more than they provide IT solutions for a data center world. With a suite of services from mobile computing to desktop to data center supporting both centralized and work-from-home computing models to improve efficiency and what, Casey?
Productivity.
Damn right. Visit Encore.tech. The path to innovation begins here. And I mentioned the Pawnee Water drinking game. Maybe we'll have to throw it in there and just throw the tabs of all of our isms that we say. But it is way better. Way better than regular drinking water. And that is because it's alkaline water, and it is shown to provide superior hydration benefits. And that wasn't just us saying it. That's not Pawnee saying that. That's a clinical study. It's made right across the street, and it uses natural limestone filtration. And the one thing that I want you to do, go and get a bottle of water. And every time you get a bottle of water that isn't Pawnee, look at the ingredients. I guarantee that there's more than one ingredient. In Pawnee, just one ingredient goes in this bottle, and it's water. It's really great tasting stuff. So thanks, Pawnee. Thanks, Encore Technologies. Thank you to Betfred. Thank you to UDF. Thank you to all of our sponsors on this show. Guys, got a fun Tuesday ahead of us.
We do.
Jacobs, last week we planned a lot of
There's
shenanigans.
some excursions planned.
A lot of excursions.
Reed, let me ask you this.
Sling it my way, big fella. You ready to bull?
Huh?
We bulling Big Bracken?
What the hell are you talking about?
Are you not ready to pool?
What is he saying?
You ask Big Brazy that you don't know what bulling is.
You're not ready to pool?
Come on, big fella.
All
You
right.
signed up to go to the Berg and you're not ready to pool.
I don't even know. All right, I'm done with this. All right, Reed, so you have to rank Chatterbox interns.
Okay.
Does
That
Jake-
we've ever had.
Is Jacob number 1 on Chatterbox the intern? Keep in mind, I was technically an intern in the year of 2020 here.
Weird.
Elliot, did you work 30 hours at a balloon event as an intern?
That's true. I did not.
All-time Chatterbox interns. We're talking body of work and not just like, what are you doing for me lately?
Yeah, body of work. No
Body
peaks
of
and
work.
valleys. Body of work.
Yeah, I'd still take Jacob number 1.
Let's go.
Barely take it out.
Go ahead.
Go,
Nope.
Elliot, your internship, hold near and dear. Elliot, can I be honest with you? Are we in the trust tree right here, right now?
Yeah, we're in the trust tree.
Before we hired you on here at Chatterbox Sports, LLC. And
Before I won Chatterbox Idol.
in the year of our Lord, 2023, I completely forgot that you formerly worked for us back three.
Yeah, I imagine you did. I didn't offer much.
Well, no, we like back in 2020 and 2021, we were doing like 9 games a week. So we had 5-6 people going to every football game on a Friday night. So just a bunch of names. I remember Chris. He's hard to forget. Best human being ever, right?
That's right. Chris Vanell, that's my guy. He's the hair gel king. Nobody put more hair gel in his hair than Chris. But he's a great, well.
Does he have a little tuft?
No tuft. He's just got great hair. You just have a tuft.
I do not have great hair.
Jaylen Brown signed the most expensive contract in NBA history.
When?
About 5 minutes ago.
Really?
$305 million. Most expensive contract in NBA history.
Who signed it?
Jaylen Brown. I don't feel like he is the best player in NBA history, much less should have the most expensive contract.
Let me check back on my opinion on that deal after I listen to Colin Cowherd's
Herd will talk about it
show
today. You'll be
today.
all right.
So
I got dragged through the mud through for my Redzilla tweet.
Rightfully so.
Redzilla, and Casey, I want you to keep the camera on me. When Redzilla goes out, there, and the I just did that so Paul had to duck around it.
Paul just escaped landmines. We should have just had the camera follow Paul.
Yeah, that's what we should have done. No, but Redzilla stinks, and I think anybody who defends him is bad. Jacob?
Script, Ohio. Dixieland Delight, Redzilla, the 3 best traditions in sports.
What'd you say?
Script, Ohio at Ohio State.
Uh-huh.
Dixieland Delight at Bryant-Denny Stadium in Alabama. Redzilla, 3 best traditions in sports.
Here's what
My favorite thing about Redzilla is similar to Box Lunch, it just doesn't perform every time. It doesn't come on every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Every time it's there, it doesn't shoot off the balls.
When I tweeted that joke, I don't think people were understanding. Like, there's a reason behind it. He shoots, like, I would say 10 balls. He shoots 3 to this section, 3 to the other, so the right section, left section, and then the rest of them go to the right field bleachers. And it's like, that's not enough balls to have a tee. When you have a ball cannon, I want the cannon just to be ripping off balls.
Redzilla is not about the balls it shoots. It's about the smoke and music as it tears up the dirt path.
Redzilla.
It's 35-inch wheels.
Redzilla has a Willie Mo Pena career. When it's on, I mean, the balls are going in the river. I mean, they're flying out there left and right. Every once in a while, it just doesn't show up.
And it's the same music. Well,
that's the tradition. I mean, when
Alexis Diaz is coming in, it's lockdown. You know when Redzilla's music plays, it's time to play.
You know what
What
I
do
need
you
from
want? You
Redzilla?
want a different soundtrack?
I need more horizontal trajectory from Redzilla. Because this thing, it goes straight up. Balls are flying back on the field. I need the 500s getting a ball from Redzilla. If you're going to advertise 500 PSI or whatever I have to hear every time it comes out, I need that ball in the upper deck. I don't need it flying back at the right fielder.
To be fair to the Redzilla operators, the first rendition of Redzilla was shooting them over the bleachers, just straight into the river.
That's fine.
So they turned it down. They turned it down.
Fine.
Redzilla and Jonathan India for Ohtani?
What is Redzilla's baseball trade value?
I would trade Redzilla so fast.
The power is not even the problem. It's they need to angle the guns down more.
What, just beam people in the face?
Yeah. Well, they can angle it down enough so that it doesn't shoot straight up and then the balls fly back.
You know what else would solve that problem? If they just shot real baseballs instead of the foam ones? The weight, it would just carry further. They wouldn't.
But the way the
kids are getting peppered in the eye.
I think you'd hurt people.
I'm aware.
I think you hurt. I would love to see Redzilla go through the streets of Hamilton. Just shoot the rubber balls at people.
Redzilla and Jonathan India for the Freeze and Ozzy Albies.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. Oh, the Freeze is so much more value.
Could the Freeze beat Gapper in a race? Gapper gets up to his hijinks and usually gets a win.
I was gonna say, well, when Mr. Redleg and Rosie lead, whoever's leading 2/3 of the way through the race, they're not gonna win.
No.
Gapper's gonna have a say in that.
Gapper's hijinks never fail.
I trade Gapper for one of the sausages in Milwaukee.
Gapper is the worst mascot of all time.
Why does Gapper exist?
Why do the other four mascots exist?
For the kids.
Because the Philly Fanatic exists. They're like, how can we clone this to a T?
The kids wanted a dog.
Is that why?
So Mr. Redlegs got him Gapper.
Okay, that's right. That's fine.
Yeah, Redzilla.
Wait, so...
Oh, okay.
Are Rosie...
Do not ask me to explain the family tree.
I don't know the mascot mythos. Is Mr. Redleg the dad and Rosie and Mr. Red are the kids? Because I thought Mr. Red and Rosie were dating.
I thought so too. I don't know we can look this up.
Are they in a complicated relationship?
No, well,
what would their Facebook status be?
The guy with the mustache, is that Mr. Red or Mr. Red Legs? Who's the guy with the mustache?
Red Legs.
Red Legs.
That guy's married to Rosie. The other one is the kid.
Whoa! Rosie seems like she's Mr. Red's age.
I don't think so.
Mr. Redleg's older.
Yeah, I don't think so. She likes the stash.
So you're telling Mr. Redleg and Rosie are dating or married, and their offspring is Mr. Red.
Oh wait, they had a kid?
I'm
or
not-
is
I'm
that
not-
or is that a or is it like a
I'm on MLB.com and I'm not seeing official relationships between Redlegs Red and Rosie Red.
I figured Rosie and Mr. Red were dating.
They have height and weight,
Mr.
though, if you
Redleg-
guys are interested in that.
If you had to rank conversations I've had at Chatterbox, this is the dumbest.
What's the Raz?
This is the dumbest.
What's Rosie's Raz
Who do you
score?
think's the tallest of the mascots?
Mr.
Gapper.
Redleg.
Gapper, for sure.
Gapper's 5'7".
Oh, no.
no way?
Matt McClain
Mr.
height?
Redlegs is 3 Louisville Sluggers bats tall.
Oh my God! Yes.
And Mr. Red is 19 catcher's mitts.
So
how tall's Rosie?
Rosie is 5'11" and 101 pounds of pure fun.
What?
According
Why?
to her bio.
5'11", 101?
According to her bio.
What a build!
Time out. I love that we gave a weight to the woman. Like, the other one's got whimsical height and size. They're like, no, Rosie's a unit.
Yeah, why are we doing
Gapper's
that?
a unit. Gapper's official listing is 5'7.5", and he weighs a few pounds less than the elevator limit.
Yeah, what are we
Everett
doing?
Henry with a top 15 comment in this show all time. Rosie is a breeder.
Oh man. How do they get away with that in 2023, assigning a weight to Rosie
I would
Red?
imagine this was published many, many years ago, and it doesn't get much traction on the MLB website.
They said Mr. Red is 19 catcher's mitts tall. Mr. Redleg is 3 Louisville bats tall. Rosie Red's 5'11", 195 pounds.
Not just that. She is a bundle of fun?
101 pounds of fun.
101 pounds of fun.
Yeah, she is.
Mr. Red's favorite song is Glory Days by Bruce Springsteen. I'm proud to be an American. Anyone else?
Can you even say that anymore?
We allowed to say that out loud?
Say that anymore.
Please give me any more fun facts about these mascots.
I got him.
The chat.
Mr. Redleg's dislikes are showering after Gapper.
What is Gapper
Wait, so
doing?
Gapper does shower. He's a human
He
then.
showers first?
Okay, so wait, Gapper is a child then. Gapper is the son of Mr. Red or one of the
Gapper's
Reds and
cripplingly
Rosie.
obese. He's 5'7" and a few pounds less than the elevator limit. That's 3,000 pounds.
That's what it says?
Yeah.
A few pounds less than the elevator limit?
Yes. He enjoys Reds wins, the summer, skyline, and fishing.
Gapper fishing? How do you think Gapper fishes? You think he's a rod and reel, or you think he's noodling?
He's noodling.
Oh, he's definitely noodling.
Or do you think he's even using his hands, or do you think Gapper's just sticking head under? And is that why it's so terrible to shower after him? He smells like fish all the time?
Yeah.
They have Rosie Red's college listed. Do you guys want to guess where she went to college?
Louisville.
Well, it's not a real school, so.
She went...
Hot Dog Alley.
She went to Cheer University, but Cheer's an acronym, boys.
For?
College for High Energy and Entertainment Routines.
Did she get her bachelor's?
Was it a master's or a bachelor?
Associate's
It
degree?
doesn't go that far, but
Doesn't
I think
specify.
I found an answer to relationships.
Oh, God, this is what we started with.
Rosie's career goal is listed as a dance-off with Tampa Bay Rays Raymond. So I think she's...
Why are we picking beef?
I think she's single and wants to date
She
Raymond.
is ready to go.
Why are we
Everybody
picking beef
loves
with
Raymond.
just the most random mascot? Did they just put it on a roulette wheel? Just like, what mascot we picking beef with?
Do you know what would be funnier if they contacted the Rays and be like, can we put your mascot in our website? Our mascot Rosie really wants to date him in this hypothetical world. By the way, she weighs 190 pounds. How much does Rosie-
101, get it right.
Of fun.
Pure fun.
Of pure
Sorry.
fun.
Sorry.
101 pounds.
Not 99 pounds of fun, 101.
Yeah, like what happens if the Reds and the Rays play in the World Series? Like, is there going to be talk not about the on-field play, but what's happening behind the
Raymond
scenes
pop the
Wait,
question?
between Raymond and Rosie?
Evan Maurer has developed in the chat. Jacob, you're our local historian here. Go find how old Raymond is.
How old Raymond?
Yeah.
Raymond, hold on.
Roger Straz says this is an unserious show.
It is.
I think we have to just take that one on the chest in this time.
Does debut age mean... Oh, Raymond's far from a human being.
Raymond is in the same family tree.
Hang on.
I mean, can you help people out? Is that possible?
That is.
For what it's worth.
That's what Rosie Red is going after?
Well, that's who she wants to beat in a dance competition. And
Oh,
to
so
be
she's
fair, I just don't think Ray is qualified for that dance competition. Reminder, Rosie went to college. She went to Cheer U.
Guys, I got stats on Raymond if we want to go down that hole.
Yeah, let's do it. We're too far in the hole now.
All right. Well, his full name's Raymond Ray. He was born in the Gulf of Mexico. His age is unknown. He's really tall and really heavy as his official height and weight. His position is upright and locked. He throws fun around the ballpark. He catches colds. Bats scare him. His color is blue. Duh. Favorite food is everything. Favorite song is Mozart's Fifth Symphony.
Nice.
TV show, he'd rather be reading. Books, Harry Potter, but spelled Hairy. That's a funny little nugget. Monsters Under My Bed
love
and
reading
Wuthering
Harry
Heights
Potter.
to round out his favorite books. His favorite movies are The Rookie and Monsters, Inc.
Very relatable.
Oh my God, guys. We've got a Raymond versus Stomper from the Athletics boxing match on YouTube. And it's honestly incredible, guys. It is honest. I'm going to get this over to Casey.
Do you guys think Rosie shows up on Raymond's about page?
Yeah.
I mean, this
Living rent free. There's no there's no chance.
The Rays put a lot more work into this.
Yeah,
than
there's
the
no.
Reds did.
Yeah, there's no way. No.
Yeah, Bobby C wasn't hiring a website director. He's got COVID hit Bobby C hard in 2002.
Raymond's. I found Raymond's species. What the?
Oh my gosh, guys!
Did you hear that? Did you hear the species?
You know what species Raymond is?
What?
Oh, what the fluffulus?
That's fun. That's fun. It's good
Reading poems says now we're in the looking up YouTube. We're in the looking.
All right, guys. This is what I'm worried if Raymond and Rosie get in a relationship. He's taking on Stomper. Stomper's ready to box.
Why
here.
is their mascot an elephant?
It's always been. It's on the side of their jersey.
What's Stomper's size discrepancy compared to Rosie?
I don't know, but look how game Raymond is. I'm worried about Rosie's
That
domestic life if she starts
be
dating
what?
Raymond the
That
Ray.
trunk would be something else.
Timeout. This is
Here it comes.
here comes Raymond.
Raymond plus 200.
All right,
Oh
stop.
my gosh. Rosie's 5'11", 100 pound, 1 puns.
Oh, look at Raymond. He's
Let's
ready
go,
to go.
Raymond.
How do I get that robe? That robe's awesome.
Stomper is 6'6" and
Wait,
one
guys.
full ton of fun.
Look at this
Do we
hype
wanna-
man.
Do we want to bet who wins this?
Yes, let's do it.
I
Let's
don't know
do
who
it.
wins.
Look at the hype man behind
Well,
him.
it's
Let's
at
get
the
into
Rays.
it.
It's gotta be. It's gotta.
He's got a belt. He's the champ. How are you
Yeah.
gonna bet against Ray?
I'm gonna bet on the elephant plus 300.
That's
Great
like
value.
taking the
It's
Dragon.
Raymond. It's definitely Raymond.
Look at Raymond. I've already watched the video. I know how this goes, and I'm
rocking
scared.
with
Oh,
for
come
Rosie's
on.
home
Let's
life.
go. Let's go.
Raymond's
Get that
ready
out
to
of here,
roll.
Raymond.
Put on the gloves.
Pull up those pants.
Let's go.
Let's
Raymond
go.
is-
Show off that
see,
belt.
See, this is what I don't like. He's too showboaty. He should
Uh-oh.
just get in the ring. Let's
Look at that
box,
fluff. Look at that mustache.
What the
Oh,
fluff
just toss the
was.
belt.
The blue blob can never.
Oh, he's got it on the wrong hand. Oh, there it is. There it is. Those are giant gloves. All right, let's go.
giant
Let's fight.
man.
Get it
Here we
going.
go. Here we go.
Touch
the
gloves. Oh!
Oh! The Phantom knockout. That same thing. That's a Phantom knockout.
Wait, was that it?
Stomper was taking a fall. Stomper took a fall.
Oh, it's
Now we-
rigged.
The integrity
What
of this boxing match.
What a disgrace the Athletics are as an organization to let their mascot come out there and just get TKO'd as a publicity stunt.
They flew him thousands of miles down to Tampa Bay just to get knocked out in 2 seconds.
That's pathetic. That's pathetic.
Tracy Jones, how are you today?
I love that stuff. That was funny.
Oh no, Tracy, we just had a catastrophe in the studio.
Oh, is that Marty's head? Oh, that's Marty's head.
Marty is beheaded, Tracy.
That's Tom's head.
Marty and Tom, they're dead. They're dead. They're very dead. Oh,
Well,
oh no.
what happened?
I just picked up the headphones and
Oh,
everything
no.
fell.
Oh no! Look at his head.
Look at he's right by the crickets. He's right by the crickets.
Oh no! Oh no! All
right,
Tracy.
So it sounds like you guys need a bobblehead replacement.
We need
I
one
got
bad.
them right
Oh!
I
Look
need
at this!
Oh, there we go.
Bring it closer
There
to
it
the
is.
camera, Tracy.
August 16th. Tracy Jones bobblehead.
Other way. There it is.
Is that for the Florence U-Alls?
Yep, you got it.
Look at that.
They gonna give you an AB?
No, I don't want to embarrass myself.
Look at that bobblehead.
That's a great
So
one.
if you guys want one, let me know. I know
we will.
Elliot would love one.
Right, Elliot?
Sure.
Would you love a bobblehead?
I'd love one, Mr. Jones.
And I'll sign it for $5.
Tracy, how many of these bobbleheads are going to be in existence? How many are they giving away?
Well, that's number one. This is number one. They're expecting 7,000 people there, so they have 7,000 bobbleheads. That's how big that night's going to be.
7,000?
So I'm very excited. Very excited. By the way, where's Tom? Where's Tom? Is he off again?
Tom. I think Tom was somewhere in the French Riviera.
Man,
know.
90% of success is just showing up.
And
That's all right.
What are we doing here, Tracy? We're showing up. We are. We're here. The Ham and Eggers are here. We got the whole crew. It's just not Tom. Jacob, Elliot, Casey, Reed. Everybody's here. Everybody's here. Say hi to Tracy. Say hi to Mr. Jones.
How are you, Tracy?
Say hi to Mr. Jones.
Hi, Mr. Jones.
Jacob and Elliot, I got to tell you, you guys are taking this show to the next level. The technical part, because I've been watching the show, is really, really good. And Elliot, your insight to sports is really something. I'm very impressed.
Mr. Jones, thank you. Thank you.
I'm very impressed. We
Appreciate
got
it,
a good
Mr. Jones.
group. We're going to the next level for sure. You guys talk about the mascots, right?
Yes.
The best mascot ever that you guys remember, that you've seen. And not Rosie Red, not those tired.
You're asking for our opinion?
Yeah, your opinion.
Ooh. Favorite mascot? Man.
I hate the Steelers, but Steely McBeam always has a special place in my heart.
I don't know if I can picture the Steelers mascot. Steely McBeam?
Yep. He retired about 3 years ago.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Orbit down in Houston.
Orbit's a good
Orbit's a really good one, Tracy. You ever seen Orbit's antics?
No, but you know who was the best, in my opinion? Was the chicken. Remember the chicken in San Diego?
No.
God, you guys really are young.
Might have been before
What
our
was
time.
what was that before our time?
Yeah, I guess. I forget how old I am and how young you guys are. It was the San Diego chicken. You don't remember the San Diego chicken?
Oh, no.
Can we get?
We'll look it up and we'll put it up on screen.
He was like the first mascot.
Oh, my God. Look at this. Look at this.
Dude.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Oh, he's great. The first
Yeah, he
picture
really
I
is
pull
good.
up of him is him diving into second base
Yeah,
like Pete Rose.
He's full on into second base. Look at this.
He's really good, and his name is the guy who plays the chicken. His name is Ted, and really funny guy, really nice guy. I think he was a San Diego Chicken for probably 10 years. He was a great mascot, and then the Philly Fanatic. Do you guys remember the Philly Fanatic?
You want to fight against Tommy Lasorda?
Yes. Yeah. And Philly Fanatic almost got in a fight with Chris Sabo because he had one of those four-wheelers and he went right at Sabes, and he almost hit him. And Sabe chased him down and grabbed him. He was that upset. But the Philly Fanatic was way out of control. Players used to actually get mad. And Reed, you brought up a great point. Tommy Lasorda got mad at the Philly Fanatic. He didn't like him at all.
You got in a fight.
How much do the players play into that stuff, and how much do they actually dislike it, Tracy?
They liked the Philly Fanatic. Some players did. So I thought he was funny, but the other players didn't. There's a lot of guys didn't like him. But the chicken, people love the chicken. And back then, after he retired in San Diego, you could hire the San Diego Chicken to be your mascot at certain games. He'd charge $10,000 a game because that's what kind of crowd he would draw. That was a long time ago. That was pretty good money. But he was very talented.
I've heard the Denver Nuggets mascot makes like $600,000 a year.
Yep. Most expensive
Think about
mascot in
that.
pro sports.
$600K a year, Tracy. I know that's not the kind of money you're making. You're making a whole lot more than that. I get that, but I mean, that's a decent change for us.
That's the worst. The worst mascot I've ever seen, and this is again before your time, and he was the worst, except for fans love this mascot, was Youppi. He was the Montreal Expo mascot. Google him. His act was so tired. He was so tired, and the people in Montreal thought he was great.
Did you ever get in one of those? Did you ever do that while you were in Montreal or anywhere else? And one of your 5 major league teams put on the mascot suit?
I should have. I had plenty of downtime. I could have done that. They wouldn't have missed me. Guys,
Tracy,
go ahead.
Tracy, if the Florence Yalls paid you $10K to put on the water tower mascot, would you do it?
Oh, I do anything for money. I love money. I'm in love with money. I'd do it.
Tracy.
So I'm looking for that. August 16th.
16th?
16th.
16th. All right. Tracy Jones bobblehead night. Florence Yalls. August 16th.
Can't miss.
Mark it down.
I'll be there.
Get back from Alabama, Jacob.
Yeah, it's only a 7-hour drive. I'll be there.
Drive back. Tracy Jones, your thoughts on the Redlegs after they take another beating up in Milwaukee?
You know, I had nothing to do Saturday night, and I watched the Braves and the Brewers play. Just to, kind of get in tune with the Brewers. They got a pretty good team, a lot like the Reds. But what really stands out for the Brewers when I watched them is that damn bullpen can deal. And you saw it last night. Williams, the closer, is really, really good. And I just think that bullpen has kind of set them apart from the Reds. But the Reds bullpen's done a pretty good job too last few games. But this is a big series. And someone said, well, this is a big series because you got the Brewers and then you've got the Dodgers. Well, the Brewers have the Reds and then they have the Braves again. So kind of evens out. But
the Reds against Devin Williams and Joel. How are we going with this? Is it Payamps? Payamps? I don't know. 0 for 39, 4 walks, 23 strikeouts. Not great.
I didn't know that. I mean, his ball moves all over the place, and he's got a great slider. I was just noticing that guy. There's certain guys that look hittable. He's not one of them. He's pretty tough. I think he had 2 punch-outs last night, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and when all your offense comes on one swing, that's also tough.
Yeah, but Reds have a way of bouncing back. They've won 5 straight games 5 different times during the season. That team gets hot. They get on a roll. They got good players. And can I tell you something that I'm sick of? And I know you guys are part of it, but you guys actually know baseball. And I'm finding Elliot really knows baseball too. And I know Reed and Casey and Paul, you guys know it. But just the social media. Boy, if you chime in on some of those websites and the chatter, it's amazing people, one, hate Votto. One, the stupid trades that they put out. Did you see the one guy put out Ohtani for India? Do you really think that the Angels would trade Ohtani for India straight up? That's not going to happen, but that's just thrown out there. It's just something that I don't know if I could have handled the social media if I was playing nowadays, because I have rabbit ears and I'm very thin-skinned. So I'd be hammering away on those guys, but it's tough, and I know you guys read it.
Tracy, how many Twitter burners do you have?
I don't. Sometimes I will I will write something out. This is how I get over it. Some of the things that are happening, I get so upset, not with the Reds, just in society overall. Jason Aldean's a good example. I write it out, but I don't send it. And just by writing it out, I feel a lot better, because what I say is I can't put that in the atmosphere. I got to pull it back, but it makes me feel like I said something, because there's some craziness going on. And you go to those chat lines and chat rooms and talk about Reds baseball, those fans are clueless. There are a lot of dumb Reds fans. Very smart.
When you say clueless, what stands out the most? Because I think a lot of people get frustrated when you're talking baseball and people throw things out. Like, obviously, a lot of those trades are tongue in cheek, but some of them people genuinely believe, or genuinely want to believe at least. So what gets you frustrated when you're looking at the fan base like that, Tracy?
I think it's the criticism of Joey Votto. I mean, he's had a really, really good career.
But what do you do with what do you do with him when he's 2 for 36?
I keep running him out there. I'm sorry, I'm a little different. I mean, I think the guy's earned a little respect, a lot of respect actually. He'll get going. He'll get going. He can hit. Take a look at his. Did you guys see the stats that Votto? How many home runs, on base percentage, and I think it was ribeye steaks. There's only been like 10 players that have those numbers that Joey Votto had. I mean, that's what kind of career. It was names like Babe Ruth, Ted Williams, and Joey Votto's on that list. It was very impressive. But it's what have you done for me lately? And he starts slumping, boy. People come hammering.
How do you balance the money that he's making, Tracy, with needing to play every day or not needing to play every day? Do you feel like with the contract that he has and as much money as the Reds are paying him, that if they don't play him every day that they're wasting his money, or does that not matter since they're paying his money anyway and they got to win ball games? They just do whatever's best for the team. How do you balance that?
I just think it's a veteran player, a Hall of Fame player that's played with one team, and you run him out there till he drops. I think I have a lot of respect. I know how good he is because I've watched him and followed him since he was a rookie coming up. I just get very defensive of certain people. I don't like I don't like people jumping on someone and just start hammering. You know, these guys on the internet with their pants down, probably looking at Pornhub, like Reed, you know, sitting there typing away. Let's nail Joey Votto. I just get really, I get protective because I follow the guy. I have a lot of, he's a really good person too. Joey Votto's never been in trouble, has he? Never. You know, it's not like the bingo players. I mean, he stays out of trouble. He's very, when I saw him a couple times at Reds Fest, very nice to me. We talked, big fan.
So, as far as the rest of the season goes, with the lineup that the Reds have now and the moves that could potentially be made, and the trade deadline is now less than a week away, do you think the Reds do anything? I mean, I'm not asking for like an insider opinion necessarily. I'm just asking for the Tracy Jones opinion. Do you think the Reds do anything here?
I think you guys have brought this point up because I'm going to steal your thunder, is how many really good pitchers are out there? Who's looking to get rid of a number 1 or a number 2 pitcher? Do you think the Reds are going to rent a pitcher and then get, you know, he's a free agent and moves it along? I think the solution, not the solution, but an option, is deal with the bullpen. Make the bullpen really, really strong. Maybe add a couple of pitchers there, and it won't cost you an arm or leg. But I would not, listen to me, I would not get rid of any of those young players. I think those young players are excellent. The hyphenator, Encarnacion, that kid can play. That kid's a really good hitter. I don't know if you saw in the game Sunday when he drove in those 2 runs and he went opposite field, and just the way he inside out that ball. Again, I'm watching this stuff. Guy's a really good hitter. And then his interview after the game, it was so matter of fact, nonchalant, like I belong here in the big leagues, not a big deal. Super, super cool guy. I don't know him, never talked to him, but he just seems like he knows what he's doing hitting. I like his personality. I'm thinking, this guy really has a easy way about him, a confidence. And I'm thinking, where's he from? You know where he's from? California. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm from California. Did you guys know that?
It just exudes confidence, Tracy. Well, I didn't know that, but now I know that.
I think it might be cockiness, but he's got that cockiness, and I just like Encarnacion.
What part of California, Tracy? You've never talked about it.
Mine?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, Hawthorne.
Oh, okay.
Home of the Beach Boys. Let's see who else. Remember Eddie Munster?
No.
You know, from the Munsters? Remember who else? Tracy Lords, the porn star. She's from Hawthorne. Marilyn Monroe, Jim Thorpe, the lead singer of Aerosmith, myself, Mike Scott.
Yourself.
One of the rappers. Well, Tracy Jones is from there. So there's a lot of celebrities. It's kind of, if I'm honest, it's kind of a hellhole. Hawthorne's not a very good place.
Now, what can make it better, Tracy? What if you moved back there and you just took over the place and just?
No.
Do you think you could make it better? No.
Let me tell you, I like coming on the radio and coming on this show. I don't want to be canceled. If I gave you my opinion, what I think Hawthorne should do, I probably wouldn't be on this show or the show with Amanda Brenneman's husband.
Good call. Good call. One other question I had for you on the Reds, Tracy. When you're playing a team like the Brewers and you just can't get over the hump, the Reds only have 2 wins against the Brewers this season, but it seems like the Reds have played as well as any team in the league against the rest of the league, and the Brewers, they don't beat up anybody else outside the NL Central. Reed just pointed out before you came on that the Brewers are 500 against the rest of the league outside the NL Central. What is it is it a mindset? Is it a talent? It's not talent, but what is it when you get into a stretch like this against a team and there's just some sort of blockage, you just can't get over the hump against one team? Why is that?
You know, that's a really good question, and that's a tough question. I don't know. The team just has your number. Maybe you're unlucky. Maybe the matchups aren't really good. Maybe you don't like going to the city. I mean, the Reds always had trouble going to the West Coast. Even going back to the Big Red Machine, they even struggled going and playing the Dodgers and San Francisco and the Padres. That was always a struggle, and no one could really explain it. You know, you say, well, it's a long plane trip. Well, there's long plane trips throughout the season. I mean, it's just not the West Coast. I don't know the answer to that. Obviously, the matchups aren't real good for the Reds when they play the Brewers.
Reed, did you have something? Oh.
I was just going to ask, who's the most famous blonde from Hawthorne, California, Tracy Jones or Marilyn Monroe?
Well, my hair's real. Let's brush nickel now. But Marilyn Monroe actually lived in Hawthorne, if you can believe that. And that girl was way before your time. She was not a slump buster. Very nice looking woman.
Got Joe DiMaggio out of a slump.
Yeah, she got a lot of guys out of their slump. She was not a slump
JFK, Mr. President. Go on, guys.
Tracy, did you ever meet the Beach Boys?
You know, you're asking some good questions. My mom's sister dated Brian Wilson, who was the lead singer of the Beach Boys, still is. And my dad coached Brian Wilson when he was in high school. So, yeah, they were around. You know, none of them surfed. I think maybe Love did. But they weren't surfers at all. They, portrayed themselves as. But they were huge in Hawthorne. And everybody knows the Beach Boys being from Hawthorne. But Brian Wilson, not a very good baseball player at all. And but still kicking it. Has some issues, but he's still kicking it.
I saw him 6 years ago. It was 2017. They played the 4th of July in D.C. and I saw him. And they're just doing their thing. They just go out there. They play the hits, Tracy. They play the hits.
Yeah, I'm not a huge music lover of the Beach Boys. I mean, I saw them too, and it was one of the worst concerts I've actually been to, besides Kiss. I would say Kiss was the worst concert I've ever been to, and I used to love Kiss. And then Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi was another bad concert, and the Beach Boys. Bon Jovi just going around singing with jazz hands. It was a terrible concert. I didn't even stay for that or Kiss. I left.
I was at there was a post-game concert last year for the Reds. Run DMC Rev Run was there.
Oh.
And so the funniest thing about him was the entire time they did an hour set, and it was there. He was just on the stage with a microphone. He wasn't doing anything. He wasn't even DJing. He wasn't doing anything. And all he said was the entire time, "Hey, we're just getting started. Hey, we're just getting started." And then he said that probably 20 times, and he said it 5 minutes before the show ended, and then he got off. That was I think the worst one they've done.
That is the worst rap. I don't like rap crap. I think it's terrible music. I saw Snoop Dogg. He was brutal. Not a fan.
Tracy, you're from Hawthorne, California. You've got to be well in tuned with the West Coast hip-hop scene. This is breaking news coming from a Californian like yourself.
I tell you, we've got a couple of famous rappers. Wikipedia it, and you'll see there's a couple of famous rappers from Hawthorne. But yeah, not a fan.
Tyler, the Creator. Your thoughts on the song Yonkers?
I don't know that song.
Didn't think you did.
Now, my thoughts on Small Town by Jason Aldean. Did you guys find that racist? Did you find that offensive?
What are your thoughts on that, Tracy?
No, I want your thoughts.
I'll be honest, I have not listened to it, Tracy. I don't know it.
Reed, you're a big time Libby. What did you think of the song?
Well,
I just
know I wouldn't try that in a small town.
Very good. Touche.
Yeah.
Touche.
Guys, anything else? You guys have anything else for Mr. Tracy Jones before we let him go?
No, I think I'm good.
Elliot?
Mr. Jones, what was your thought on the umpiring last night?
God damn. Elliot, great question, because that was in my notes and I wanted to bring it up. The automated strike zone. We need to go to that. And that's a great topic. Have you guys seen this in AAA? Last night was a perfect example. Umpires are making way too many bad calls. Bad judgments. They're missing a lot of pitches. I would love to see, and Google this and watch it because they're doing it in AAA, the automated strike zone. And what happens is, let's say you're called out, you're allowed to question 3 calls throughout the game. Now, if you're right, then you still get your call back. It's kind of like when you throw the flag. But if you think it's a strike, like this batter I was watching, the ball was a little outside, and the batter just said, I want to challenge it. They go to the screen with the rectangle, The batter was right. He got it. It was a ball, and he got to first base. I really like that. And I think in 5 years, I don't think we'll have umpires. I think umpires, that job is out. I think they're useless and overpaid. Did that answer your question, Elliot?
It did. Well, and the crazy part is, Mr. Jones, if you look at the umpires around the league, you look at the MLB, they're allowed to do this, and no one's going to comment on anything. No one's going to make a comment. Nobody has to answer. They were plus 2.1 runs yesterday in favor of Milwaukee. Milwaukee scored 3 runs, Tracy.
Right.
How is there no punishments for umpires?
There is none. I mean, they should be sent down to AAA like a player is, right?
I agree.
No criticism. There's no fine of umpires. I mean, there's 10 new umpires in baseball this year. That's a lot. A lot of umpires retired. We need to go to the automated strike zone. And Elliot, don't call me Mr. Jones. Call me 2-9, please, because that was my number.
Well, thank you.
2-9.
Mr. 2-9.
Mr. 2-9, thank you.
Mr. 2-9. I like the Mr. part.
Mr. 2-9.
Tracy, what's your favorite Counting Crows song?
I've seen the Counting Crows.
Do you start like cheering when they sing Mr. Jones?
Let me tell you something.
And do you think that they should change the name to Mr. 29?
I used to go to all the concerts at the Fabulous Forum back a long time ago. I've seen Aerosmith 10 times. I've seen the Jackson 5s. I've seen Metallica, Judas Priest, AC/DC. I've seen all those groups. Counting Crows. You name a group, I've seen them. My wife's really into music.
You brought up the Jackson 5. They're famously from Gary, Indiana. And you brought up the Beach Boys on the show. Would you say Hawthorne, California and Gary, Indiana have many similarities?
A little. A little.
Fair enough, Mr. 29.
Yeah.
Tracy, I just want you to know that when you go to Wikipedia and you look up Hawthorne, California, you are listed above Marilyn Monroe on the list of notable people.
How about a little respect then? Call me Mr. 2-9.
Mr. 2-9. And they have Tracy Jones, former Major League Baseball player, was born in Hawthorne. Born in Hawthorne. There it is.
Three most famous athletes. And this is ranked by their athleticism. Coming in third is Russell Westbrook. Coming in second is Jim Thorpe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Number one is Tracy Jones.
Yep. Now think
Tracy
about
Jones
that.
played for 5 MLB teams. Jim Thorpe played for 5 professional leagues.
Jim Thorpe was a hell of an athlete, you know that. And what about Westbrook? Who else read some of those names, Polly?
Beach Boys. Let's see. NFL players Curtis Conway, Jason Simmons, Dennis Northcutt, Fred Dreyer. Let's see here. Tracy Jones, Mr. 2-9 is listed there. Michael Marsh, Olympic gold medalist, attended Hawthorne High.
There's an oversight on this Wikipedia page. It just says Tracy Jones, 700 WLW radio host, was born in Hawthorne. Nothing about your major league career. What's up with that?
It's tough. When you figure my body of work, it's just they got to keep it short because you can just go on and on and on all my accomplishments. So yeah, they just want to focus in on WLW, I guess.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. All right, Tracy, we appreciate you coming on, and we'll talk to you on Thursday.
All right, boys. Have a good day.
Thanks, Tracy.
You guys take care.
Or thank you, Mr. 2-9.
Thank you, TJ29.
See ya.
See ya.
All right, do we have a cherry on top before we get out of here?
We're going to do the grid for the cherry on top.
All right, let's do the grid.
So this is the cherry on top.
Presented by United Dairy Farmers. I thought we were going to do that in tandem. Darn. Would have been cute.
Oh, there it is.
Oh.
That looks so good. Can we get some Scream today?
Oh, you want to go to... Let's go to lunch and then get UDF on the way back.
Let's get ice cream.
Yeah, let's get some Scream.
2 Beer Tuesday and then some ice cream?
Reed, former Red, top left. You know who I'm thinking?
Indian Blue Jay, Guardian Blue Jay.
Third base.
Did your favorite player on Indian history play for the Blue Jays?
Rajay?
Yeah.
I think he did.
No, but do Edwin. Edwin Encarnacion.
Rajay's way lower. Edwin Encarnacion's probably the most common guess there.
No.
Are we doing Edwin?
Rajay Davis.
Davis.
Do Edwin. Come on.
No.
There's 2 Rajay Davises.
All right, then go Edwin.
Which one are we doing?
There's 2 Rajay Davises
Wait,
that
what?
played in Major League Baseball.
What?
That can't be true.
No.
I mean, he would.
Let's do Rajay.
Yeah.
This is a sham.
J. It's with the J.
Yeah.
Right there.
6%.
6%.
6%. We cannot do Roy Halladay for
No.
Phillies Blue Jays. We cannot do
No.
that. That's just 2 on the. Did Kurt Schilling pitch for the Blue Jays? I don't think he did. Roger Clemens pitched for the Blue Jays. Did Jeff Jenkins play for the Indians? Did Grady Sizemore play for the Brewers?
Grady Sizemore.
No. Who's a
Did Bautista play for the Phillies at the end of his career?
Jose Bautista? Joey Bats?
I'm almost positive he did.
Does Jose Bautista follow you on X.com?
He used
Follow
to.
you?
Oh yeah, he follows.
He follows-
You don't have a Twitter account unless you get followed by Jose Bautista or an X account.
Oh, I got one. John Axford, Milwaukee, Cleveland.
John
AX Ford.
1.
1%er, nice.
That was a good pull by me.
Give me Joey Bats.
Did the Flying Hawaiian play for the Brewers? I'm struggling here.
I'm looking. I was thinking Tony Batista,
think he
but he
did.
never.
Go Batista for Blue Jays Phillies.
Who?
Jose Batista.
Oh, Jose.
Joey Bats.
BAU.
That right there, right? 2004, 2018?
Yes.
What was the percentage?
200 hit Blue Jays season. I want to throw Paul Molitor in there, but I don't know if he got 200 hits with the Blue Jays. He didn't play a long time for the Blue Jays. Paul Molitor is the most forgotten Hall of Famer ever. He played like in the late 90s, had 3,000 hits, and I feel like most people don't know who that is.
Yeah.
What about Bo's dad? Dante.
Dante Bichette
Yeah,
for 200 hit Blue Jay season.
maybe, right?
John Olrud. Look at some
Did Bo hit it 2 years ago?
Bo might have
He
it.
led the league in hits. The
Yeah,
last 2
let's
years.
put Bo Bichette in there.
I don't know if he got 200.
Let's pump the brakes.
I don't know that he got 200. 200 hits is.
Who were on those teams that won back-to-back World Series? We're talking Joe Carter. We're talking Paul Molitor. We're talking.
Oh, Dante Bichette never played for the Blue Jays?
Woof.
Bo Bichette.
Bo Bichette did not. Just checked. 189.
191.
Oh, 191.
2021.
I think I got one here for the.
Led the league in hits.
He was the first African American to play in the American League. And I know he led the league in home runs multiple times. So go for Cleveland, 100 RBI, Larry Doby.
Larry Doby. 0.9.
Hell yeah.
Whenever you pull like a .9 like that, I just assume they're a Hamiltonian.
Philly 100 RBI season. Let's just go ahead and knock this out of the way. Do we want to go Dayton, a Daytonian, a OU grad, and Mike Schmidt?
He'll be.
Ryan Howard would be way up
the
there.
Big one, yeah.
What about
Utley?
No. What about
Harper will be a big one.
What about
It has to be with the Phillies, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Then never
I don't know. Yeah, does he even have 100 RBIs with the Phillies? That's
Who?
on. Let's go Chase Utley. I feel like Chase
hold on.
Utley. I feel like there's so
hold
many
on,
bigger.
Hold on. Don't do it yet, Casey. There's
Bigger.
What about Pat Burrell?
We don't like Pat Burrell in this room.
Why not?
When I was a kid, I went to spring training, and I was getting autographs from all of the Phillies players.
Uh-oh.
And I dropped my Sharpie, and Pat Burrell walks on by, and I said, "Mr. Burrell, can you pick up my pen?" He said, "Can't reach it," and just kept walking.
I love that guy.
He didn't even have to acknowledge me, but the fact that he lied. I mean, it was at his feet. He just said, "Can't reach it," and just kept walking. So Pat Burrell. We can put Pat.
What about Pete?
Pete Rose? Did he get 100 RBIs with the Phils?
Right?
Chase Utley, I know, did.
Chase Utley.
Pat Burrell for sure did.
All right, then do Pat Burrell.
Let's put Pat Burrell.
2000 to 2011.
Yeah.
3%.
There we go.
200 hit season, 100 RBI season. Who's the most obscure Hall of Famer that we can bring up? $200 hit season's tough. That's what's tough. Would Pete Rose fall into that? Would he be a low percentage in that category? Did he get 100 RBIs?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
I just looked it up. He never did. He never got above 82.
Yep.
Just put Willie Mays in there for.
Boo.
Which one?
What about Ichiro?
He never got 100 RBIs.
I wouldn't think so.
Put in we getting any Robin Yount for the Phillies Brewers? Ooh, the Phillies. Or put in Brewers 200 hit season. Put in Robin Yount.
Robin.
Yount. Y.
Yount.
Yep.
This is elite
39.
podcast listening.
It's great. Blue Jays 200 hit season. Let's go ahead and throw in. Let's do this last in case we're wrong. So let's leave that there. Just go ahead and put the Say Hey Kid for 100 RBIs and 200 hit season. Put in Willie Mays. Let's get this over with.
4%.
Okay. Screw it. Blue Jays 200 hit season. Paul Molitor. Molitor. Yep.
78 to 70 or 96.
Yep. 98. 98 should be. Yep.
Okay. 26%.
Darn it. All right, we got a Philly Brewer. We got a Philly Brew crew. Did Shane Victorino play for the Brewers?
Gene Segura did?
Did he play for the Brewers?
He did, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, he played for the Phillies 2 years ago.
Yeah, you're right.
Gene.
All right, put Gene Segura in there.
I just used him like 2 days ago for Marlins Phillies.
Gene with a J.
Jean.
Like blue jeans. Like blue jeans. Then Segura. Like Tom.
Your name was Gene.
Right at the top.
Gene. We'd have some fun.
30%.
Nice. Look at that.
All right.
Fair score. All right. Not too picky.
Do we actually on that? I wore my green shirt today.
Money?
Green. A little bit of luck. How are we feeling? How are the vibes feeling? So for people that don't know, it's Jacob's last week. Jacob's last day with us is Friday. So, he has other friends he needs to see, but he has friends here in the studio. So we don't know if Reed's going, but at least the four of us.
We actually do know Reed is not going.
Reed is not going.
Oh, Reed is not going. We
Reed
established
I
that.
didn't get my yards done last night. It rained here in town.
Okay. Oh, it did? Mm-hmm. So it rained downtown and it rained up here, but for some reason it totally missed where I was yesterday.
I got wet.
You got wet?
I got wet.
Did you get real wet?
I got real wet.
Damn. That stinks. Elliot, how about you? Did you get wet yesterday?
Yeah, I was a wet little boy over in Sailor Park.
Okay. So we're gonna play some blackjack tonight.
It's gonna be a group outing.
We're gonna make money.
Yep. That's all there is.
That's all there is to it, Paul.
Also, take
Am
the
I
under.
a bad guy for not going?
Yeah, you
yeah,
are.
I mean, yeah, you are.
Take the. I would do it for you. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously
we would.
you
We
Yeah,
would
Reed,
we all, if it was your last week, we would all go for. We would drop what we were doing for you.
As it being
Just so you
my
know.
last week, no amount of lawns needing to be mowed would stop me from going to the casino on your last week. I just want to put that out there.
There is no way that I would miss that. I would blow off every single person that I owe my service to mow their lawns to go see Elliot. Or not
So
Elliot,
here's the
Jacob on his
here's the
last day.
dilemma. I leave for vacation next week, and I got
Drop your vacation.
What?
Drop your vacation.
I leave for vacation next week, going on a cruise, so I've got to cut today,
Pay
so
for
I
your
can
vacation,
cut. So
Why
I can
can't
cut
you
it
just
next
skip
week.
a week?
Because the grass is growing.
You got a
don't wanna lose my
flashlight, don't
business.
you?
Don't want to lose my business.
You got a flashlight, don't you? Mow it when you get back.
They do have lights on the mower. I'm sure the clients would love me just showing up at 10:30 p.
Oh, brother. Do I got news for you? We're
I'm
gonna be
definitely
much
not
later
going.
than 10:30.
10:30p.
I'm definitely not going.
Tomorrow's show is going to be an interesting experience.
Oh, we're gonna be Reed's gonna have to put it on his backpack there. If Reed's not going to Hollywood, he's hosting tomorrow.
Done.
Is that where we're going for sure?
I thought that was the plan.
I think that's the plan. I think that's the plan. All right. Well,
now you've just told everybody our location.
yeah, I was withholding that one. I'll be honest, but it's
I
okay.
said the bird like 3 times during the show.
So now we might.
Oh, you did?
Oh, so now we might go somewhere else then.
Okay.
You know what?
Well, there's
Come
only
out.
one other option,
If
brother.
you want to come to Lawrenceburg and gamble with the fellas, come gamble with the fellas.
All right.
I agree with Jacob.
On a Tuesday night.
On a Tuesday,
night.
Yeah.
All right, we have gone over our time. Thank you, everybody, for watching today. We'll be back tomorrow. Tom will be back on Friday, so it'll be us tomorrow. We're going to work on getting some guests in here tomorrow and Thursday. Tracy Jones will be back on Thursday. Thanks, everybody, for listening. This has been Off the Bench, presented by United Dairy Farmers. See you all tomorrow at 10.